Hey everyone, welcome to issue number 85 of Sunday Night Geekery. And we got some people will be rolling in a minute, but we've got the ever awesome Shrimp Lightning, aka Han Solo, Han Pat S. How's it going?
Yes, that was my moniker from Dad Man was just doing a big Empire Strikes Back show. So
Nice, yeah, classic stuff.
it
Yep,
it fit
yeah,
it
little
fit my
beers.
Hoth gear. So
Yeah,
yes, I went from CPO. I could have done C3PO Pat S, but then I just said,
yeah,
nah, let's just do Han S.
yeah. Well, where's your tauntaun? Are you staying warm?
Dude, can you see his lips in the corner? He's like right above my head. Do you see his gray lips right there?
Oh, the
We
poor
just
guy.
showed Dad Man showed that whole picture. So yeah.
Yeah.
My tauntaun, unfortunately, Mark, does not have the rubber bottom
Oh, you
to
don't
pull
have
the fake
the
guts out that you can fit Luke into. No, that was
you
second
don't have
gen.
that.
I have G1. Yeah.
You had the original gangster. Yep,
Yes.
the non-pregnant one. It's like that's a great toy for a kid. All right, we got another illustrious guest joining us. The ever awesome
Yay,
Maddie's
Steve.
daddy, aka Vegas Store. Yep, thank you,
So
Steve,
so
for
I learned tonight that
joining us.
Mark D with a C definitely has Facebook.
Oh, I do. Yep, I do
Because
have
that's how you get
Facebook. Yeah,
Steve, right?
That's how he
yep,
gets a hold of you.
yep. Well, you could just use Twitter for just messages. I mean, you just
I don't
wanted
know.
to
I
do
think
that.
he's
Not
more
that
of
I'm
a
a bad
opposed, dude.
influence, but if you wanted to, you could. But you
It would
probably
it,
won't.
it
It's
would
just
probably make
annoying.
yeah. Dad man was saying, "Hey, why don't you come on our stream? We'll talk about Star Wars." He was like, "Oh wait, you're not on Twitter. There's no way for me to get a hold of you.
Yeah,
I
you
have to
don't
use
exist.
yeah. He has to use a abacus and a flint rock to communicate
We
with
were
me."
we were gonna call you on your landline, Steve, and just put the microphone up to the phone and let you talk.
Well, do you have America Online and Netscape Navigator
That's right.
Yep,
so you can use ICQ to get to me?
yep.
Steve's on MySpace, so I will send him.
No, I was never on MySpace either. The only social media I ever got on was Facebook, and that's because an old girlfriend in Mexico sent me the link because she wanted to, stay in touch.
There you
So,
go.
and so I just don't really have the desire. I got on Twitter for a brief period and got drawn into political stuff, and that's it's not what I have enough stress in my life. I
Steve,
mean,
has
Let
anyone?
me just
Because
say hi
yeah.
to
Oh
Brian
yeah, go
Hepburn.
ahead.
So hail Brian Hepburn, and he
Hey
said he has the
Brian.
first version of the Tauntaun too. Yep, and it was good playing Fortnite with you the other night, Brian. It was fun. Yep.
hail
So
Brian, good to see you again.
and he always Netscape communicator for you. He says if you want Steve.
Well, remember last week you were showing us your old tech.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah,
And
there's
Netscape
a
communicator ruled the world back in the day, and then Microsoft said, "Oh, let's give our browser away for free." It's like, well, what happens to your business model when a major competitor comes out and gives away the same thing for free?
yeah.
I use Netscape Communicate. Everyone uses it. I think wasn't it $30 to buy or $50 or what was the cost to communicate? And $30 back in the day, back in the '90s, was a little, even more money. But do you remember buying it, Steve? Or
No, I didn't have a computer in those days. I used my computer at work. I think I was
yeah.
the world's only um, uh, computer animator, CG animator that didn't own a computer.
Inconceivable. Okay, okay,
Inconceivable.
it's professional edition was $29. So my memory
Mm.
was pretty good.
That's-
Netscape cuts prices on retail products, 1998. Yep. So I think it
Yeah,
started at $50. Yeah, Jim's Barksdale. Yep. So yeah,
I loved Netscape Communicator back in the day.
no, it was good. Yeah, but the
Yeah.
pro version adds scheduling calendar, 3270 terminal emulation, network administration tools to the main communicator lineup. That's the pro version. Yep.
Yeah.
So just imagine how things have changed. 1998. It's not well. Okay, it's 25 years ago. All right, but
I mean, back
yeah,
then you
quarter of
paid
a
you
century.
paid
All right.
back then you paid one time. You got it in the mail with floppy disks and a manual.
Yeah,
Not a guy named Emmanuel, a handbook
yeah,
on,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to. Do I have any around here? When I would buy 3D programs, I mean, they would come with a manual
Big
so
books.
thick.
Books.
Yeah, they were so thick that after
Yeah.
opening it a few times, just the weight of the thing would tear the spine, and you would have suddenly 2 or 3 sections of it.
Or they would have you would always get the books. I got the manuals with spiral bound. Then they started doing spiral bound. Yep.
Nice.
Which I thought was pretty good. Yep. But look at this. Yeah, Netscape 2.0, folks. We're gonna get a lot of viewers talking about this one.
Yeah, so far, Brian.
Yeah, for $49. Yeah, all right. So yeah, that's what I thought. It was $50 to start with. Netscape 2.0, and it's available for Microsoft Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows NT, and the Macintosh. Yep.
Now that Windows is doing numbers again, eventually they will become Windows 95 again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at this line at the end here too. This is prophetic, right? According to Rob and analysis with Gig Information Group, you can create arguments for both, but when it comes down to it, they're relatively equal. Overall, the compelling argument that Netscape has to overcome is that Microsoft offers the same service for free, and that has to hurt.
Yeah, and it did. It did.
Big time, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Yeah, put them out of business. Yeah. I mean, I think the owners did okay. They made made a lot of money. But yeah, that
When was that?
What were you saying, Pat?
I was asking, when was this again?
This is 1996.
Yeah, mid-90s. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's when the net started to take off in 94, I would say.
Yeah.
Really start to take off.
With chat rooms.
Well, when AOL, I remember AOL. Most people were on AOL, and I kept telling people, "Oh, I did a lot of computer consulting." I said, "Yeah."
Remember that?
But I always just say, well, AOL is the best thing, for your computer. Like you'll have a lot of fun on the internet, event, and I kind of knew that was going to be not that I, predicted to be the next big thing, but I would always tell people, what can I do with a computer? I'm like, well, get on AOL. You can do email, communicate, shopping and all, not that it was so primitive. If you look at the old,
Oh, yeah.
AOL 3.0, but it was a great way to get online. And then I remember when the World Wide Web opened up. I remember going out on the web through AOL, and people were bitching and moaning like, all these normal people are on the web now. This sucks. Like, you're experimenting, going to like, movie sites or different sites. And, this was the World Wide Web, AOL, all totally self-contained with all the message boards. And I have my AOL Fantastic Four card here, membership card.
Wow.
Fantastic Four Club. It's Mark D at AOL.com. Yeah, what does it say on this?
Mark would get all frustrated because there would always be 25 people in the chat room and he could never get in. He had to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to read this. I got to read this card. Welcome to the first club on America Online for fans of the Fantastic Four. Let's see. I got to read this. Faded. This is so old. Join us Saturday, 10 to 11 p.m., both in the special events room in Wizard World Keyword.
Keyword.
Join,
right. Keyword, yeah.
Yeah, join the Baxter Building Bulletin read the Baxter Bulletin every month. The BBB is a 25-page fanzine. Let's see, it's on black ink here, so it's tough to read. With previews, news, articles, and columns. For being the FF Club, you get lots of cool FF picks every week. You can also check out our new website at, oh God, I can barely read this. Something. I got to do at AOL. Well, it's at AOL.com. But it was a Fantastic Four. And they sent you a membership card. So you put your address in. I still have this membership card that the guy was printing. And screen name, I have no club name. I should have been like Clobberin' Times or something. Little Clobby maybe with a club name. But and I should have. I got to scan this in and pull it up. I have, it's a business card, and I put a hey, Captain J. D. Skywalker. I put a magnet on it. So, but yeah, it was just.
Yeah, I was. I think I was. I think I was for like a day or two on the Lois and Clark message boards because I liked I thought I was going to hate it when I saw the previews and I saw the very first one. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. That was way back. And I think maybe Star Trek Next Gen, maybe.
Maybe.
And Lightwave, they now extinct, but coming back from a new company, Lightwave 3D.
You know what I would have named my fantasy.
I was to say you're poaching. I think you're poaching people from Dadman because Captain James T. Skywalker, I, and Brian Hepburn were all there, and Pat were all there a little while
Maybe
ago.
Dadman stopped streaming now. Yeah,
for a while.
He and Clobby were hip deep in Empire.
Well, that's a crappy movie anyway. They should come over here and talk about the Galactic Star Cruiser.
That's right. We're all about Ewoks in this studio.
You know, if I'd have had time, I'd have gone through my albums and find I have the Story of Star Wars album that I bought way back in the day.
Nice.
And I also have the Star Wars soundtrack, the original one. John Williams.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, before we move on, though, I have to tell you guys, you know what I would have named my Fantastic Four chat room?
What?
The Council of Reeds. Then only people who were really in the know could join, right? Because they'd be like, oh.
See, that's after my time.
Or if you're one of the Illuminati.
Say, that might have actually been even after AOL.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but AOL was basically the internet for a lot of people for many years. So you had all these channels and people would just
couldn't use
hang
the phone.
out there.
Yeah, your mom would get mad at you.
Yeah, remember you couldn't. Well, not mine because I was an adult at the time.
Okay.
Hard to believe I was once an adult, but can you? Hey, Mark, can you bring up an image of Netscape Navigator's interface? Hail, Courtney,
Sure,
and happy belated again.
There's Courtney.
Even though I wish you a happy birthday on your birthday, happy belated, Courtney.
3.0 was the one that, and happy birthday again, Courtney. Yeah, 3.0 was the one that really took off, I think, AOL. And then look at this, 50 free. You used to pay for the hours to be on the internet, folks.
Not if you got all those
AOL. So that was a big deal too. When you went on you had so many hours, and you're like, oh my god, I got to get off now because my hours are up.
And there were no rollover minutes.
No.
Anybody remember rollover minutes? Yeah, that was just my dog remembers rollover minutes.
So
sorry,
but yeah, there was a dial-up, but then when AOL went unlimited, that was a big, huge deal when you could stay online for as long as you wanted. And
the two people by that icon on the far right, mom and dad are getting ready to beat. Did you see? Wait, go back. It looked like two kids online, and the mom and dad were winding up to beat them. Yeah, click on Look at the one on the right, the most right.
Well, that's just the icon. Get the whole family online. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it looks to me like mom and dad are about to beat the kids. They got their fists raised in anger.
Well, yeah,
that's the one where my mom finds
out. Should have had both arms up.
That's where she sees that I've been for the last 2 hours downloading the topless picture of the girl from Baywatch and
for 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yep.
And then Steve, it was another 2 hours to print it up.
How about Napster? Yeah. None of us did Napster, of course, but I mean,
I wouldn't still.
I've heard download a song could take like a half an hour or an hour.
So here, this was 1998, the way back a long time ago, and CNET's got a great site. Yeah, an effort to undercut the rapidly growing ISP market, America Online is close to adopting a plan to offer unlimited internet access to its customers for a flat rate, and then charging extra for its proprietary content.
Don't they?
An effort to level the playing field with a growing number of telcos offering net access services, AOL has chosen to close to adopting a plan to offer unlimited internet access to its customers for a flat rate, and then charging. All right, we just read that. Yep. Executives are still working on the plan.
But wait, if we didn't have Wi-Fi back then, how did we get online?
Through dial-up. And hail the clobber
That's
time.
Right. That was our phone.
Hail Clobby.
Clobber.
Sorry to interrupt. Hey, buddy.
Clobby, we're talking about ancient tech like Netscape Navigator, AOL.
Oh, well, call me when you need me then.
You're not ancient like us?
No, I'm too ancient for that.
You remember AOL, don't you?
Sure. I went AOL many a times.
Sure.
Was it Clinger AOL?
Clobby couldn't get that on his Commodore 64.
Hell done.
Yeah.
He's playing Chopper.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jim Brown a little bit too. We'll do some
Jim Brown.
I love the Commodore 64.
It was a pretty cool machine.
Hail Lenrod.
Hey, Lenrod.
Yeah, it was Commodore 64 was great. I never had a crash ever. Never had any what do you call them, viruses. I loved Commodore 64. It was, in my opinion, way ahead of everything else at the time.
Did you actually have games on cassette?
Sir?
Oh, for the Commodore,
you have the games on cassette for your Commodore 64?
I didn't play games.
Okay.
It was a job. I actually did on a Commodore 64 using something called Alpha Paint. I did the first live action with animated character in Baton Rouge history. It was for a company that made glass, and there was a guy named Bucket. And he had I don't remember the name of the company, but he had this beautiful girl with a thick Southern accent who it was always the same thing. Every commercial would say, "Bucket, I broke another windshield," and he'd be like, "Don't worry about it, Shaq, because that Geekery paint and glass."
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And this beautiful girl was going away to college, and so my boss sold him a CG thing. I basically drew Belle from Beauty and the Beast in profile and moved her on the screen and had her say, "Bucket, I broke another windshield."
Hey, Claude.
Hill Claude. So, and I did that on the Commodore 64.
Wow.
This was just around the time that Ron Thornton and his company, something imaging, I can't think of the name of it, was doing the CG for Next Gen.
Oh,
amazing!
that's cool.
Yeah. So Don, who was mentioning this? Brian was mentioning Zaxxon. So yeah, this was the arcade game was tough. It was one of the first 3D, pseudo 3D games. I can say isometric. I remember it as being one of that.
Oh, I remember that.
And so you could go up and down.
Great controller though, man. Great controller. It was an actual stick. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah. But I can only imagine that playing on the C64, the graphics are probably not as sharp. I mean, this was considered, cutting edge graphics back in the day. It was like, oh my God, these graphics are amazing. This is what it looked like on an IBM PC with 4 colors. Looked pretty brutal. So yeah, the ColecoVision had a little bit better version than the Atari, but yeah, it's a lot tougher to play. That game took a lot of my quarters, and you had to figure out how tall you were with the shadow. The shadow would kind of,
right,
and then you had to go through all the things. Yeah,
my brother was good at that game.
That was super frustrating. Yeah, and then I want to say too, AOL. This is where we'll finish with the AOL stuff, but it was 2 pricing plans: $9.95 for 5 hours. Imagine, so $9.95 for 5 hours a month, plus $2.95 for each additional hour. And then, I mean, these hanging out with you guys on the internet would get expensive back then. They were $19.95 for 20 free hours plus $2.95 for each additional hour.
And what was your bit rate?
300. Well, probably 300. Not 300 baud. Was it 3.7K? I don't know what that translates into baud, but most people had 1500 baud modem or a 3000 baud modem. If I'm remembering my tech correctly. Very slow. I remember when he had a 7K download. So it was, wow, I'm getting 7 kilobits a second. This is amazing. Yeah.
My dad would be like, I didn't buy this Tandy 1000 for you kids to be doing AOL. You're supposed to be playing King's Quest and writing papers for school.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember when you would look for a photo of something, like for your wallpaper, when it was called wallpaper, and you could watch it download like one line at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make a sandwich and come back, it still has 30% to go.
Yep.
Oh no. Mark had to bring this up. Rest
All
in
right,
peace.
well, there's always sad news. So I did have a fun weekend. So my son graduated. That was good. Yep.
Oh my God, the green screen on that was awful. The little kid, the upward angle on the little kid, you can see his hair. Like, look how bad that green screen is. Oh man.
Well, it's Disney. They don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Well, that was the one thing they said. Well, first of all, we'll talk about it a little bit, but I guess we'll read the sad news. So please note that new bookings for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser are temporarily paused and will reopen on May 26, 2023 for available voyages through September 28th to 30th, 2023. So I guess that's the last, that's going to be the last weekend.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
care.
they're
The
done.
sad news,
Yeah.
the sad news, boys and girls, is this Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. Well, it's sad for the people, the actors and the crew members are losing their jobs. So that's that's a shame.
Yeah,
but,
it's a shame for them, but
yeah,
this thing was like, what is it, $6,000 for one room or some kind of crap? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
who was going to this? Well, answer, not many.
rich people. Six
even
people
they
for
weren't.
2 nights.
Yeah.
Even they weren't.
Yeah.
Not that much, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't care about anything mouse related anymore. I really don't. Whether it be, Marvel, Star Wars. I mean, they just ruined. They ruined it all. And even though
evidently you're not alone, buddy.
yeah,
but be honest though, Steve. When she asked, you're going to throw her in the car and drive 8 hours out to Disneyland, aren't you? Bring her to Anaheim. Buy her those $30 mouse ears.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was going to, dude. It's hard to say no.
I mean,
come on.
well,
There may not be a Disney to do by then.
Yeah, she's never far from my heart. Actually, let me just do one quick Maddie thing. I'm ordering the doorknobs from Alice in Wonderland, that talking doorknob for her bedroom. For her bedroom. So when she sees that, she's gonna like trip.
Oh,
yeah. I want her room to be a magical place. So
very nice, very nice. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Very cool, sir.
So and now
I mean Disney. I grew up with Disney, and my dad was a Disney nut, more on the technology side of Disney and the innovations, and he was an amazing guy, and started the company. It had Oswald the Rabbit taken from people can criticize and comment on certain things that maybe business practices but no doubt that very, very successful person is part of American culture and lexicon. So yeah, and then kids all grew up wanting to go to Disney World, which is the beauty of that. Great marketing too. You have the cartoons and the movies, and what do they make you want to do? Right? Go to go to all those great theme parks. So so this is Lenrod was talking about the final voyage of Galactic Star Cruiser will take place September 20th to 30th, 2023. So I guess they're gonna go through the summer and then end in September. So it'll be kaput. So out of business. Yeah. And Drunk 3PO's reviewed the food. I wonder what the food was like. It was any good, but I just can't imagine how spending $2,000 or $3,000 a night for a room. Now, I think the idea is a fantastic idea. I just think the execution obviously was really, really flawed. I mean, there's no iconic view of this. Like, why didn't they build like a Galactic Star Cruiser that you could actually see at Disney's? Like when you went there, it would be, or like something's, when you enter Disney. I remember going to Disney MGM for the first time back before it was called the movie studio, and I could see the AT-AT in a distance. I was like, holy shit, there's an AT-AT here. Oh, I can't believe it. And then you go to the Star Tours ride, and it's just that little section. And then they added lightsaber duels and contests, and kind of expanded the area a little bit. But that was just one little bit of Star Wars and Disney World in Florida that I went to.
So now
Well-
let me ask you guys this as a question that maybe some people in the chat are thinking too. Remind me again the reason that they didn't use the older Star Wars, like why they didn't have this like be, a Republic Hammerhead or something like that, or they
Was it
didn't want to do
stupid?
that because of Amaranth, because they wanted to and they wanted to push the new stuff, or was there really something where like if they used all the old stuff, George Lucas would get more money again,
No.
or
No,
so
he's sold.
this
He's
is
sold
this
outright.
is just pure hubris, right? That's why they did this.
Hubris,
They-
yeah.
They're pushing their idiotic agenda and their stuff, and they don't care about the real stuff or the old and the real fans. And they're
Right.
idiots. There's your reasoning right there.
Now, Clobby, though, seriously, guys, Mark, Steve, too, I'm asking all of y'all. But honestly, at this point, when they made this thing's not that old. They know
No.
at this point when they're doing this that Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, the original trilogy, right? They know that episodes 4, 5, and 6, all that merchandise and everything is far outselling anything new. And even though they knew that, they still went this route, right? That's what I'm saying. That's to me is the
Yeah.
most amazing part, because it's
Arrogance,
like this
hubris.
was a failure from the beginning. Then, no doubt.
Doomed to fail from the beginning. There's arrogance.
Well, it was
Yeah.
sold out for a little bit. When you get that initial, everyone who wants to go see it and can afford to go see it,
Yeah.
is going to go. You get that limited audience, but with that, $6,000 for 2 nights, and we'll show you the rooms are awfully small too. So, but there was no big. You've got that window when you look at you Google some images of the Galactic Star Cruiser, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think the only picture I found from the outside, you've got this is the Galactic Star Cruiser when you come up. So it's like, how silly is that not to have like a massive, I guess what they're trying to do is keep people in these trucks, and then they would, kind of look. So this is the Star Cruiser from then. They had you in these box trucks, I guess, that would, try to have an illusion. But how cool would it have been to have had, this
Star
look like, it
Destroyers.
costs more money, but have it look like a Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
So that was.
It's
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney.
Hey, can you
Hey,
guys
Corey,
hear
how's
me
it going?
okay?
We
Hey
can
there.
hear you goodly. Yep.
Alright. I'm on my way home, so I figured I'd just pop in and for now.
Oh, thank you for
You
being
You guys
here.
were
Yeah.
talking about the Commodore 64 before, and I missed it.
Did you have a Commodore 64?
We did, yes. I remember
Nice.
having to type in that code to play my summer games and winter games and skate or die and all that fun stuff.
Very cool.
How's everyone doing?
Classic.
Hi, chat.
Hey.
Continue.
Yep. Courtney
Sorry to
can't
interrupt.
respond to the chat. Yeah. She's on. Yep.
No, I'm not. I didn't. I'm not looking at the chat. That's why I just said hi, chat.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lenrod is saying, "Ugh, that looks like a coffin." Yeah. So this is the front. Oh, the front entrance. And I mean, it's really not. I guess it's awful, right? I mean, Walt would have never approved something like that, in my humble opinion. Maybe some of the stuff on the inside is cool with the droids, but I also heard like when you're walking in, like some of the ceilings were drop ceilings, and you're supposed to be in a starship. I remember one of the reviewers mentioning that, like this part. All right, this looks cool. I'll say that looks decent, but one of the parts, where they entered, was a drop ceiling. They're like, wait a minute, when does a starship have a drop ceiling? And I guess this is, the outside here, I guess. I mean, there's really not, nothing. Even if they'd put up a facade, like what was one of the most fun things going to see Nemo was, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, was they had the submarine, you could see the submarine, and they always had one like up top, it seemed like, where you could hang out and just see it. And then look at the room here. I mean, you're inside, so you've got like a TV screen, so you're spending $6,000, and you've got a room, and you got 4 kids, so like mom and dad and 2 kids. There's mom and dad are not having any fun that night. Let's just say, right? Either, right? Just joking, but I mean, those are cramped quarters. If I'm spending $6,000, I want to go somewhere. You could go a trip to Italy or Europe or somewhere for $6,000. And hail to Phantom Outsider. I mean, like this looks like Disney has the Econo Lodges, like the music. I'm forgetting the names on, but like 4 or 5 where they're more affordable places. Like I could see like a setup like that for the kids, but when you're paying that much money, it's you're crammed in there. Why don't they make it really super luxurious, or have 2
Right.
rooms at least, or 3? If you're gonna, and real estate's pretty cheap, and they own they own all that real estate there, so just make it a little bit
Did you
bigger,
guys
have
go
another
to
room.
Disney as a kid, Mark?
Oh, I went a lot of times.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
to Disney many
Yeah,
times.
we used to. It's funny because you talk about like the 4 kids and whatnot. We used to. My parents would drive from Pennsylvania, and it
Yeah,
would
we
be
drove one
complete
time.
just like a nightmare. They would leave in the middle of the night, put the seats down in the back of the station wagon, and we'd all like have wrestling matches and fight each other the whole night. But that was the cheap way to do it. So
Mark's parents would have never brought him there, though. He wouldn't even buy the girls their own poncho, for God's sakes. They had to share a
Oh,
poncho.
Yeah, I got that picture.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
My story.
Mark
gotta
be
show
sleeping
that
in a
picture again if
bathtub
I-
there.
let me see if I can find that picture. And Harold's
That
remind.
picture's
Harold,
Harold's here.
Harold,
Yeah.
my buddy, good buddy Harold's here. Harold, I could show some pictures of you. Just kidding. With 22 minutes to bedtime. Yeah, well, I am tired tonight, so we're not going to go too long because Charlie's graduation was today. So we
Only 4 hours, we promise.
only
Congratulations,
four,
Charlie, by the way.
Thank you. Yep, I'll spread the
Congrats,
word.
Charlie.
to them. Yep.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's
Yep.
exciting.
He got a real
can-
degree too, guys, so he won't be moving back home with Mark for a long time.
Well, he
Are we
said he's
allowed
going
to
to be
know
here. He's
what
going to
degree?
said, oh, economics. Yeah, he's economics major. Yep.
Ooh, smart.
So he's got a
Wow.
job lined up in New York City already, which
Wow.
is great. Yep.
You might move in with him a few years.
Yeah, well, he's got to cut. He's got some chores to do. He might help me work on my Mustang for a few months. He said so. But yeah, the over under. That's the joke. Is he'll be in New York City or living with some friends. The over unders. I'm joking. 3 weeks. So hopefully he'll spend the
Oh,
summer
wow.
with us and then going to the city. But yeah, sleep is overrated. Yeah.
So what the doctor said, sleep is for tortoises.
Yeah,
Both
sleep
of
is
my brothers
important.
did exactly what your kid's doing. Went right to New York City for jobs. It's not
Right.
cheap to live there, but you make
No.
good money. You got to be smart.
Well, yeah, you got to spend spend a lot of money on your tuition. Not tuition. I'm thinking tuition. I don't have to pay tuition now. Your salary just goes almost all the way to the rent. So yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
trying to see if there's a picture here I can show. Might as well show a picture. Let's see where I got one of Charlie and Eric together.
Oh,
That was
Mark.
good.
When the youngest finishes school, dude, you're going to be able to buy so much more stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a bigger house. Yeah.
Tell the kids, say, look, we're
I was
taking
just
over
gonna
your
say, you
rooms
better buy a
now.
bigger house for all your toys.
Tell them, look, don't worry. We're not making your room into a gym. This is going to be where all the action figures are going.
So here's my 2 boys. Yep. So I didn't edit my photos yet, but that's obviously Charlie's a graduate, and that's Eric, the younger brother. Yep. So he's pretty happy. Although Charlie looks kind of tired. It was a week of partying nonstop, I think. So, so that's the two brothers. Yep. But Charlie, we're looking at the picture. He's like, he didn't seem that tired today, but he looked tired in the picture. Yeah.
Too young to be tired.
Too young to be tired. Yeah.
Was it a really long graduation?
It wasn't too bad. It was probably like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So it wasn't bad. Yep.
Oh gosh, I remember the second I walked like across the stage, I walked right up into the whatever the seats to my family,
Yep.
and I was like, "We're out of here." I didn't even stay to do anything. I was like,
You didn't
"Get
toss
out
your
of here."
hat or do anything.
No,
fun?
I
Yeah,
didn't do
yeah.
any of it. It was
Yeah,
so long.
That's weird, man. I went to an LSU graduation one time. It is the most weirdest, disorganized, unceremonious thing I've ever seen. It's just like 3,000 people shoved in this big room, and they're handing out this big stack of diplomas, and people just get their diploma and walk out the door. Everybody's trying to get to the restaurant first, since you're competing.
There was no formal ceremony.
Well, no, it was, but I mean, it was terribly informal, and it
Informal,
had
yeah.
no real ending. It was a weird, I went to a small little, fine arts teaching college, and we had a mass the night before, and then graduation, you stayed to the end. Everybody went in, pomp and circumstance, out. And then when you went out, your professors released you. It's like they still owned you up until that point. But like the LSU one, Steve and Claudia, y'all never went to one of those. It's just like the most amazing thing, and people are just talking in the back and smoking cigarettes outside. It's
I know.
It's really weird.
We used to go there to that school, I think.
Yeah.
Did you?
What's
the funny thing is, my college wasn't even that big. We just had speakers that talked forever.
Was that a Berkeley School of Music?
Yeah, Berkeley College of Music. And we didn't have the cool ones the year I went. Remember, I think I've told you guys this. The year before me was David Bowie. Why didn't I know that? I would have graduated.
You missed David Bowie?
Yeah, I could have.
Wow.
Bowie. Instead, we had Patty Austin.
You wouldn't have left early if David Bowie was there.
No way. No way. I would have been trying to hang out with him. Instead, we had Patty Austin, and it was actually interesting. We had the guy that started VH1. He was like a co-creator of MTV and the guy that started VH1. But they talked forever.
I want my MTV. Well, they talk forever. Yeah, but you needed to get musicians up there to play forever. Yeah. Well, my son's girlfriend's sister graduated from NYU, and they had Stevie Wonder played at the graduation.
See,
that
that's
was awesome.
Like,
See, that was in. Yeah, he got an honorary degree, and yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do at Berkeley.
Cool.
They give them honorary degrees, I think is how they get a lot of the big.
Fairfield U gave Billy Joel an honorary degree, and people were giving the school flack. They're like, "What did he do to deserve that?" It's like one of the most successful musicians.
Billy Joel.
This was in the 90s.
Don't you want to say Billy Joel's an alumni? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like, come on, they're ragging on Billy Joel. Like, all right, maybe you don't like his music, but I mean, the guy's slightly successful. I mean, he did pretty good, yeah. Back when MTV was them, you had music. Yep. And Harold brings up a good point. Yeah, Gettysburg Address, 2 index cards. Yeah, and one of the lines of speeches, yes, people will not remember what is said here today, but everyone remembers. And I read that Lincoln wrote that on the train getting to Gettysburg, and the person who spoke before him, I think, spoke for 3 hours. So it's just so the line, the world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but I can never forget what they did here. So just brilliant speech that, of course, will last forever. But the guy that spoke for 3 hours before, so no one remembers. Yeah, but the person giving the keynote today said, well, over the next, was just talking like, I'm glad to be here today, yada yada. Over the next 60 minutes, I'll be talking about, and she made a joke. No, and then she's like, just checking to see if you're listening in the next 10 or so minutes. It's like no one wants to hear anyone speak for 60 minutes. Except when we're on YouTube, hopefully. But
and now here, 150 years later,
yeah,
the short one that the newspapers all made fun of is the one that I still could probably do the whole thing from beginning to end.
Wow!
Some of the ski resorts would give you free tickets on President's Weekend if you could recite the whole Gettysburg Address from start to finish, and then you got a free lift ticket.
Years ago, our fathers.
Yeah, in order to form a more perfect nation or something.
No, that's the preamble.
That's the preamble.
The Constitution.
That's from Star Trek. That's from Star Trek.
Brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war. Testing is not the right word. Whether that nation or any nation so conceived can long endure. And then he goes on to about.
I'm going to switch to
world
my
will
computer.
never remember, little remember or note. Yeah. So
hey,
sorry,
Steve,
I didn't
have
mean
a
to
question
hijack
for you.
No, that's okay, Abe. Hey, Polly's Minions here. Hey,
Polly.
Guys, I'll be back in a few. I'm going to go from the car to inside. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Mark, like Captain Kirk, Abraham Lincoln is my favorite president.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Lincoln Enterprise.
The guy taught himself law.
And of course, you've got what's the Star Trek? No, go, Claude. You're going to quote him for me. And Kirk.
Well, he helped save Kirk's life. Yeah.
Help
Yeah,
me, Kirk. Oh,
Help
Yeah.
me,
help me, James. Yeah,
James.
James,
I
help
can
me,
still,
James.
unfortunately, I can still wrestle.
I'm sorry. And some what was it in my time? Something offensive that word. Well,
Yeah, I won't say the word though.
we've learned not to fear words. Well, I guess we forgot it again since then, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, that was the 23rd century of the 60s, but
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Pat was going to say something.
No, I was going
E
to ask you,
Publista.
Steve, you seem to know a lot about civics and history and all. Do you know what Abraham Lincoln said to the man that he bumped into and spilt his coffee on? He
No, I
said,
do not.
"I'm so sorry, sir. Please get your dry cleaning bill and send it to my Gettysburg address."
Oh God, I thought it was a real thing.
I'm sorry,
know,
Steve.
You know
I
they
I
made
really
fun,
cheapened the moment, dude. I feel bad.
they made fun they would make fun of Lincoln for, among other things, being uneducated and being so tall, because he was like 6'4" or something, which back then is like 7 feet tall.
He was like
Well,
Shaquille O'Neal.
Before, you know
Yeah, and a reporter, you guys are probably going to know this quote. A reporter trying to embarrass him said, "Mr. Lincoln, how long should a man's legs be?" Does anybody know this one?
No.
that?
Without missing a beat, old Abe said, "Long enough to reach the ground." Just
I like it.
on the spot. So yeah.
I am Kirok.
Kirok. Oh, that's a horrible episode.
Yeah, I love that one. I love them all, but yeah, but so this is the entrance to the Star Cruiser. I mean, like this, just like you're going to like another hotel. It's like there's trees in the back. I mean, this is the front. This is the entrance. It's like you're going to like a casino. It looks like. I mean, it's just not.
Or the Museum of Art.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a. It's an interesting entrance for a building, but I mean, does that evoke like I'm going to another planet here and I take my $6,000? I mean,
where are the Star Wars trappings in that open? And you walk
there's
right in front,
nothing.
up there. You should see Star Wars crap everywhere, and I mean real good Star Wars stuff, not fake Disney trash.
But there's
I
not
mean,
even
R2
there's not even
and
bad
3PO
Disney
and
Star Wars
Darth
stuff.
Vader.
Not
Not even that. You're right. You're right. There's nothing
not
that tells
even
you
like
the Star
Ray.
Wars.
I'd settle for a Ray. I mean, there's nothing.
Right.
There's
Dude,
like
Nothing to tell you that
guys,
that's Star Wars.
I'm really not trying to start a fight. Every time I see that, you know what I think of more of? The awful newer Battlestar Galactica. That's what it looks more like to me than anything Star Wars. It does.
Well, I
And
do like
I said,
the
I'm not trying
Battlestar
to start
Galactica,
stuff.
but
I'm really
yeah.
not. But it doesn't look like Star Wars. It just looks like some kind of
Yeah,
generic,
generic.
futuristic. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and then you've got. I guess you've got some video games here. Maybe I guess that looks moderately cool, but I mean, it'd be better probably if they had either had like you could go there for a couple hours as an extended tour maybe. But the idea of it is pretty cool. You've got this interactive cruise, and you're gonna have interact with the actors or the they call them castmates. Yeah, the idea is kind of interesting, but there's nothing like. None of this looks Star Wars. This is all too cleaned up and too nice. So, I guess if you're supposed to be on a galactic
Almost
cruiser,
looks like
but
TNG.
yeah, it's too perfect. And
those
then
quarters look like 2001. Stop,
Yeah.
Dave. Don't, Dave. I'm losing my mind.
I'm losing my mind. Yeah.
Stop. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Yeah. So let's.
I've never made it for that movie, so don't spoil it for me.
Let's go through the Disney website.
The monolith did it.
I
Monolith did it.
can't do that, Pat. Oh, sorry, Dad man. I'm wearing the shirt in your honor, sir.
There you go.
So I see Dad.
Oh, hey, Dad man. Oh,
Dad
where's
man.
that showing up on the StreamYard side? Oh, there he is. Yep. Dad man, send me. I'll send you some
Siren.
food. I'll send you some.
You did great,
caffeine
Dad, man.
Yeah.
Dad man.
We're not going to go late here tonight, too. Famous last words. Yep.
Dad
By the
man
way, I
did
have to
a long
ask,
stream,
too.
but a good one.
Those of you that have
Mhm.
streamed with Dad Man before, what is this icon? Is it a banana? It looks like it's half a football, half a banana, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want him to think I was like giving him a hard time. But
It's a foot
That's for a
banana.
sports
It's a
show.
foot nana. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. All right.
So let's read this couple
Zachariah.
paragraphs here.
Hail Zachariah.
Hey,
And
Zachariah.
Zach.
Harold Ellis. I think you came up while I was.
Harold, yeah, it's my good buddy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I got 7 minutes, so let me read this
You got
quick.
7
Yeah,
minutes to
before,
work? Oh.
yeah, so I have to go to bed. Yep. Harold's my second dad. Yep.
He's your alarm. He's your cuckoo clock.
Yeah. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Well, hey, Swiss, we love cuckoo clocks, but
I should have said grandfather clock. It just
yeah,
there's the implication that you guys are old, even though you're
Mhm.
children.
no, we're
next
young.
to
Yeah.
me. Children
Yeah.
next to me. Yeah.
So the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is a revolutionary 2-night experience where you are the hero. You and your group will embark on a first of its kind Star Wars adventure of your own. It's the most immersive Star Wars story ever created, one where you live a bespoke experience and journey further into the Star Wars adventure that you ever dreamed possible. But there will be no Luke Skywalker. Arrive at the Walt Disney World Resort Terminal, board a launch pod, and rendezvous with a magnificent Halicon Star Cruiser. Stay in a cabin or suite with an exquisite view of space through a TV screen. Throughout the ship, you'll interact with an eclectic collection of characters, sit down to exotic galactic cuisine, and perhaps even plot a secret mission together. As itinerary continues, you'll take the story further and deeper. Choose your path. Seek out the inner workings of the legendary starship. Learn the traditional art of welding a lightsaber, and even jump on a transport to the planet Batu, where your mission continues at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So I guess you did get to go for your $6,000. You did not have to wait to go see the Galaxy's Edge ride with the Millennium Falcon, or. But I mean, some of the trappings are interesting, but there's none of the classic Star Wars. So I went to Galaxy's Edge. When it first opened, we happened to be out in California in Disneyland, and it was depressing to be there. I got to say, I mean, it was there's no Star Wars stuff. It looked like a Middle Eastern bazaar, basically. It wasn't fun to walk around, and my wife's like, "Oh, you don't seem too excited." I'm like, "Well, there's no classic Star Wars stuff here.
There's no real Star Wars. In other words, no real
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
You can make your own lightsaber.
yeah, and that was like
$200.
$200. Yeah, so it was damn expensive. So let me see if I can find Disney World, Disneyland 2019. I was there just after it opened. So let's see. I get to my pictures of Galaxy's Edge. Well, the fun thing was that we did. Let's say I was there. We did Star Tours, which was cool. So of course you got Star Tours. Let me open up a couple of these, and
This our 2-unit has a bad motivator. Look, well, he just hates working
Yeah.
for these bums. See, he's badly motivated.
he's badly motivated. Yeah. Let me open these in new tech because I don't want to show all the all the stuff here, but I'll show like just quick because I didn't prep. But that was the classic Star Speeder. You got R2D2 there. We got 3PO there. This is the queue when you're waiting.
Look at that.
So this is Disneyland. So this is
And they're the only thing really connected to real Star Wars at that, right? R2 and C-3PO.
oh, because this predates. This was before Lucas sold. So this was I don't know
Oh, that's the old
90s
stuff.
that came out with this. Yeah, I'm just showing you this.
Okay.
This was my trip. So we went to Disneyland, and this just the classic stuff. God,
Star
it was
Tours.
just, Star Tours was just
Mhm.
that's just so awesome, just so cool seeing 3PO, animatronic, auto animatronics there. Yep. So here's me with my my D hat, and
That's in
my
the
shirt
90s.
there. 98. Oh no, when did we go? 2008. Wait, what was the year on this
We
one?
haven't changed a bit.
Thank you. When the heck was this? What year was this? Disney,
No, you mean-
2019.
you mean-
2019. It's not that old. Yeah, not that old. Yeah.
Okay.
He meant
Yeah.
you haven't changed your hat.
Yeah, I haven't
yeah,
changed the hat. Yeah. Yeah, JT, I was shocked they didn't ruin C-3PO and put that stupid red arm. This is like a crazy droid they had there, but it was fun. It was damn fun though to see that droid. Here's the classic Walt and. Let me open a new tab. This is the classic statue on because Disneyland's the first park, of course. So that's that.
I went there. I was a very young child in the 70s. Hey there, your Muslim uncle.
Hail your Muslim uncle.
Hey, Muslim uncle.
Hey,
Oh, I love that statue of
Hey, buddy.
Walt Disney with Paul Terry's mouse. For those of you who know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, I said it. I said it out loud on the internet.
Hell yeah.
Let them come get me.
The stream just
No,
ended.
They don't like him. They don't like him. They don't like Walt either.
Yeah, they
hate
hate Walt
Walt.
now. They hate
Yeah.
Walt.
Yeah.
They should just change their name because they have absolutely nothing in common with Walt Disney. There's
Nothing.
no family members involved, none of the same values, although Walt was a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
All right, so here I'll show these look pretty safe or no.
Mark hates it when we go off on tangents.
Yeah, that's okay. Tangents are good. As long as you know your angles. So where did
Dude, you still have that shirt.
I still love that shirt. So that's but you go there and it's all new Disney. It's like new, that's a new fighter. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's like, why is there not an X-Wing fighter there? I want to see an X-Wing fighter at this freaking place.
Is that an A-Wing?
That isn't. I guess it's a.
It's not really though. It's really not.
No,
Look
it's
at
like
Be a
that.
Jedi starfighter because it would be done before that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay. I'm not saying it doesn't look cool. I mean, it's a nice
A-Wing maybe.
sign. And then you get an X-Wing, but it's Poe Dameron's X-Wing. It's not Luke Skywalker's.
Oh, there could be 98 then. This is new shit, right?
Yeah, this is 19.
This is
2019.
Galaxy's Edge in 2019.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
Ugh. God.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but I want Luke Skywalker, and the front looks a little bit different. I think it's just something about it just doesn't look. Then you walk into Galaxy's Edge, it's like you could have done. Is that vaguely Star Wars? I guess. I mean, but let's do the wretched hive of scum and villainy. I mean, that's what you want.
Actually, Mark,
want
if you
Mos
mix that
Eisley.
up with your Rome pictures, I probably wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Never find
Not being a small.
a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
I tried to find it. You got to find it for me.
This side of DC, of course. Has anybody seen? And I stepped away for a minute, so I don't think this is it. Has anybody seen that? It's basically a hotel in Tunisia where you can go and stay in Luke's old room with the blue milk.
Well, they have Tunisia had the original set, so you can go visit them.
No, you can stay
Visit
there
the
now.
Yeah, they added. Well, they must have added huts that
Wow.
you can stay in. Yeah, not the original, but yeah.
No, I think you could
Right,
stay in
okay.
the. I think you could stay in the original.
Hmm.
I read an article. Well, I skimmed an article, so
You got to pay extra for that, right? Yeah.
yeah, but the whole headline was about how much cheaper it is than going and staying here.
Well, probably.
Like,
yeah.
it's like a
yeah.
fraction of the price because nobody
love
goes to Tunisia, and it's in the
That's
middle
true.
it's in the middle of the desert, so there's nothing to
Yeah.
do except for kind of look around and here's where they poured the blue milk and
Yeah.
Well,
It's like a-
Steve,
it's like a
at the end though, Uncle Owen has a barbecue for you.
There's my tauntaun. I didn't buy the
Tauntaun.
tauntaun though.
Oh, there's an
It'll
idea.
freeze before you reach-
Barbecued tauntaun.
It'll freeze before you reach the outer marker.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
see you
a
at
bad trick
Disney.
for me. But this look, I mean, this is you walk into Galaxy's Edge. This is right your first step into Galaxy's Edge, and you're like, yeah, it's Star Wars adjacent, but it doesn't scream, any scenes that are like this is a scene in the movie that I recognize. There's
Not
all
very-
these shops and
Not
things.
even Mos
and-
Eisley either.
And it's like, yeah, you could go buy all these, fuzzy animals, I guess. I didn't buy anything. I was like, oh. And then you walk in,
let's stay
and then
warm
the
inside that
freaking
tauntaun.
Millennium Falcon. I'm like, there's something wrong with the Falcon. What's bugging me? What's wrong with the
Uh-oh.
Falcon? It's got the
Oh, yeah.
rectangular antenna on it.
That's
So-
Garbaccio.
but I didn't even like your subconscious. You don't even know. I'm like,
You
something
got a
looks
closer
off.
shot of that?
I do. Yeah, we got closer shots. But I mean, it is very cool to walk up to it. But the ride, this ride was running with the Falcon, but it was like an 8-hour wait or something.
Mm,
And the
8 hours.
this was a couple years ago. Well, 4 or 5 years ago now, when it just opened. Yeah, and
Wow.
the other ride wasn't open. I guess the big main ride wasn't open. But yeah, you get a little bit closer. It's cool. I'll say it is. Not gonna deny that it's not cool to walk up to the Millennium Falcon. But they should have like 4 or 5 rides in this place. They only planned 2 rides total. 2 rides total on all of the whole Galaxy's Edge. It's like, or at least have maybe like a Galaxy's Edge arcade. You can play Star Wars games or something. But that's a 1-to-1 Falcon. The cockpit actually doesn't look that big. I don't know how Chewie got in there, but I guess it's the right. They said it's 1-to-1.
Can you go inside?
You can't go inside, no. But then the game, the ride here takes you in, and then you go on the Falcon. I'm forgetting what the ride is called. Is it Galaxy's Edge, or someone will let me know? But yeah, this is nice. Like this is pretty wild to go right there.
It's got the wrong antenna though.
But it's got the wrong antenna, so I was gonna jump up and knock the antenna off. It's Maureen, yeah. And they take your picture there. You get your picture taken, and yeah. The only thing, the cockpit does seem small, doesn't it, guys? I guess.
I think so.
It does. It's missing the escape pod too.
I mean, I think it's 1-to-1, but it does look. I don't know. They wouldn't let me in there to check it out yet.
At least you didn't have Howard Chaykin draw another cockpit on the other side like he did for the comic book adaptation.
Oops. Yeah. So then you take, that's a cast member taking. They say stand here and take pictures. Yep. They're like, pretend that you have the Force. All right, that's a bad picture. Yep. Oh, that's all right. It's cute. But yeah, then there's really not much to do there. There's like they're selling you shit, and there's one ride that was like a 3-hour wait to get on, or whatever the heck the wait was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, and there were no. You'd expect like a ton of characters walking around. You go to Universal and you go on the Transformers ride. There's Megatrons outside. They got a guy there. There's characters everywhere. They were like, there should be a gazillion characters around all the time. So they did have like an area where I guess shows happen. There was like a fight with the New Republic, but it's like you don't even care about the New Republic. That's the problem too. Like you don't give a crap about any of this stuff. So that's part of the problem too. So allegedly, I'm not a Disney expert or going, on my channel, we don't, going all the Disney stuff in depth. But allegedly what I had read at the time was they were doing, old Star Wars, original Star Wars. And the Kathleen Kennedy, came in. Let's change it to the new stuff that everyone's going to love Rey and all the new characters. Like, or at least what they should have done was do a compromise. Some you do Hoth, you do Coruscant. You got to do Mos Eisley, and you got to have part of Tatooine. You got to see Luke Skywalker's house, right? And go into that, and part of that could have been a section. So I guess they had done everything, and the Imagineers were told, no, we're scrapping all the plans. It's going to be rebranded as New Star Wars, Disney Star Wars. It's like how stupid.
They're like, wait, you guys don't want us to do anything with real Star Wars stuff?
yeah, right.
You want Rey and all that garbage? Nobody cares about that crap. Just do it. We're paying you.
Just do it, right? Yep.
We'll call Kathy on you.
Yep. Some more will kill me. I was showing her picture. No, she doesn't care, but she's like, probably should be like, that wasn't a good picture to show. but yeah, it's just a bummer when you go there. You're like, it wasn't exciting. Like I'm waiting to be blown away, or like have a lot of characters walking around, or I'm looking back. I don't have that many pictures that take a ton of pictures usually when I go places.
Yeah, you
I
sure do.
love, and yeah, there's not much not much to write home about. I mean,
No.
well, there were all right. There were a few items. This is from. Let me make this full screen. This was from the store that was there. Of course, you got the crappy dough droid. Yeah, crispy rice treat. The silly droid with the one wheel.
Mm.
That was from the new movie. That stupid droid. In the last
Yeah.
movie, the
Yes, Roy's
Yeah.
Brews of Soy Walker. Boy, that
So
looks
you
like
got
crap.
there's a few toys here, right? Yeah, so Luke toy box. This hat I thought was cool. So that I know. All right, okay, I'll give him
know.
points for that one. Yep,
I don't know. I don't
that's
know.
pretty good.
I don't know.
Like that.
I love
That's
you.
a cool,
Whatever.
badass Han Solo line. Yeah, before he shot last. Yeah,
Hey, I have that.
You did?
I got it at a garage sale. $5. I didn't pay Disney directly.
Oh, cool.
they do have a
By
ton
the
of
way,
figures there, but I like these figures with these.
I think this might be a good time to throw this out, gang, because I find this interesting. My buddy works with a youth group in his church. He's bringing 53 kids to Orlando, and they all voted like they pick what they're going to do for 4 days. They're there for 4 days. They actually go down in a bus.
Yep.
Come back. They voted to actually not go to any Disney property except for, you ready for this? One of the, which I didn't even know they had anymore, one of the Disney water parks. They're going to spend the rest of their time at Universal because they like the rides better there. Yep.
Yeah, here Universal's doing really well. Yep.
Yeah, there's that holds no interest for them whatsoever, and I can tell you what's going to hurt them too, man. When the Nintendo thing's all done and it grows and grows and
Nintendo
grows,
World, right? Yep.
It's going to be huge, dude. My nephews, that's their generation. They are so excited about that. They're never going to go to Disney when they go down there again. Never. It's not going to happen.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think so.
Yeah, Mark's life story, waiting to be blown away. Well, yeah, you should be blown away when you spend a lot of money, right? And you go to a place like Disney and with all those talented Imagineers, and yeah, so it's something that should be really exciting, and I love Disney too, and but it's a really nice place to visit, but Galaxy's Edge was just not not doing it. Like this set looked really cool down below the bottom, and I've bought some of these similar type figures, so they're not action figures, but they are pretty. I'd never buy that, of course, but this one was pretty cool with the original a few of the original characters, but yeah, it was just not.
But it wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap, and it was like, wow, what am I gonna, all right, for this much money. But a lot of times too, parents will get that as a gift for a kid. They'll,
yeah,
Mom, I gotta have that. Mom, Dad, I gotta have that. So,
did they realize they're not toys? They're just like,
yeah, they're
just these.
Yeah, they're just static figures. Yep. But yeah, so it's a tough thing that they do all this work, all those workers there, and then boom, it's just all gone. I guess all the work that they did, but yeah, they should have done original Star Wars. I guess you would have had fans. You would have had a lot more fans if you could have pretend to go on a mission with Luke Skywalker. Could you imagine that? Like have a Death Star mission, or how about your Bothan spy in one of the missions trying to steal the Death Star plans? So it's I had no interest. If you gave me tickets to this, I don't even know if I guess I would go. I mean, if you gave me tickets, but really no interest in going. I mean, it's like, oh God, as a pretty big Star Wars fan, I wouldn't, oh God, I can't wait to go to this. Yeah.
None of that calls out Star Wars to me at all. None of it.
Yeah, no. So I'm just trying to see if they had, and then what I heard was super lame was the lightsaber segment too. It was like basically an at-home, lightsaber game that you could play. So it was just they were showing the demo of it. With the it wasn't like, oh wow, this is exciting. I had a game that was 5-10 years ago where you had like a infrared lightsaber on. You could hold it. It was like a standalone Star Wars game that you could buy, and
Okay.
it was a cheesy kind of game, but you could fight Darth Vader and stuff. But it's just the highlights. It's like I heard, the lightsaber training was just really, 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 really,
I don't know if this
really
is true or
bad.
not, and I'm not really a fan of her, so I don't watch a lot. Though I think she's a fine, YouTuber. But Anna, that Star Wars girl, was doing a video about it, and I'm like, oh, I want to see what she's got to say about this. So I put it on, and she said one of the things you could actually do as an activity is there's a room with a bunch of rocks and sand in it, and you could go and try to use the force on the rocks, and that's actually like something you could do on your downtime. And there again, I don't. If I'm wrong, guys, in chat, you can tell me if I misread her and she was joking around. But if she wasn't joking around, that's pretty lame, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. So like they have the bridge
Sounds pretty
training. I
lame to me.
guess that does sound incredible. Yeah. They teach you navigation, power defense, other critical systems to keep the Star Cruiser safe from unforeseen galactic entanglements. These skills may even come in handy should critical situations arise later in your voyage. So, I mean, it's just, I guess this is kind of like a video game, so I guess that part's okay. Then you get to go to Batu. Yeah, see, Galaxy's Edge. It's not even, Mos Eisley. Why are we not going to Mos Eisley? Why are we going to Batu? Does anyone know what Batu is?
No.
I don't know. Maybe Mos Eisley is in the right place for a little.
Was that
kid,
in
though.
Solo
It's
or
a
something?
dangerous,
It'd be dangerous, yeah. So, yeah, board a transporter for a trip down to Black Spire Outpost on Batu and continue your adventure on the remote planet. Your missions throughout Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, including your adventures on Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, which is the super duper ride, Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run, which I hear is good, will influence events back on the ship. You'll be able to enjoy a one-time entry to these attractions during your excursion to Batu. It's all connected and part of your personal Star Wars story. $6,000 I get to ride it twice.
Kal-El, buddy. Kal-El.
Hey,
Kal-El. How's it
Hey,
going? Yep.
Mark, real quick, for $6,000, does that cover your food and drinks too, like booze and stuff? Or
I'm assuming
Probably
we're going to
not.
check the dining. It probably covers basic food, but alcohol is usually
know.
extra. I'm guessing.
okay,
Let's see.
like
Let's
a cruise
check.
ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try to book a stay. Pat, you want to go with me? So
I will, but you got to remember, dude, I don't drink, so it wouldn't be fun for partying afterwards.
well, we could drink the blue
I'm
cow's
a
milk.
teetotaler now, bro. Yeah.
We had fun dates.
Yeah.
We're cheap dates anyway, Mark. That's for sure.
Yeah, cheap
That's-
dates. Yep. And relax in the Sublight Lounge. Looking to wager a few credits? Saddle up to the Sabak gaming table and play a casual hand-to-hand hollow Sabak while sipping a refreshing beverage. All right, I guess maybe that's okay. Maybe not as good as Quark's Bar in Vegas, but we'll see. Yep. Yeah, it's Captain Skywalker says, "Oh my God, Star Wars, original OG Star Wars would have been like printing money." Yeah, for sure.
See, when I walk into a Star Wars bar, I watch some gruff old, dude sitting there with, we don't want their kind here.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're geeks. We don't have to wait outside. We don't serve their kind here.
Yeah, right. So let's see your itinerary here. So day one, you arrive at the terminal. You get to the Star Cruiser and you go to that entrance there. Ship orientation, light refreshments, Sabak lessons. I guess that's that game. Muster, captain's reception, dining featuring live music, outer rim regalia, unexpected story moment, which you will expect because it's in between here. Between 7:30 and 8. So expect the unexpected for that half hour. Yep.
Well, hopefully they mean the story will be unexpected.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Luke, I'm actually only your uncle.
So bridge training 8 to 8:45 and atrium entertainment 8:30 to 8:15. Wow. So I guess that must be characters. And then you get breakfast. Then you go to Batu. Not Mos Eisley. Rise of the Resistance from 8:45 to 9:30. So they're rushing you in there, I guess, before the big crowds get there. Then you get a story moment between 9:30 and 9:50. Then you do Smuggler's Run till 10:30. Then you get lunch. Go back and you get lunch. Then you go back to the Star Cruiser. Lightsaber training, droid racing, build a model ship, Sabak tournament, cocktails for a half hour, taste around the galaxy dinner, and then another story moment, and a finale from 10 to 11 p.m. So there's 3 story moments, it looks like. And then you're out of
When
there.
the actors are acting, right, and doing stuff.
Yeah, the actors are acting, which is probably pretty cool,
Okay.
I gotta say, in
All
all fairness. But
Well, I'd rather play Alan Moraine.
Yeah. Alan Moraine, yep. Yeah, someone in the chat was saying, yeah. Talking about
the line from the movie you're doing on Nick's show this Tuesday night. Oh, speaking of whale shit. Well,
right? So so Turo is saying, have stopped putting ideas on the net for Disney to twist their own bad version. After Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was released, they come with the next story should involve the origin of Rocket. Look what happened. Well, I hope you got paid $1 million.
yeah. They're listening to you.
Oh, and by the way, since somebody brought up Marvel, let's just lay this out for everybody too. And I'm sure the panel will agree with me. Knock it off. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was awesome. But the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is not freaking better than the 3 Captain America movies. And as I've said before,
who said they were?
You think they were?
No, I said, who said that?
Oh, okay. I was going to say. And I wasn't even a huge Captain America fan until then. But I got to tell you, those 3 movies are the top tier.
Well, yeah.
Knock it off with your silly stuff.
But I do love the GOG.
I like
you can love them.
GOTG,
I too.
Guardians of the Galaxy is good, light fare, but I mean, Captain America is what
Winter Soldier is the best
It's
Marvel
epic,
movie.
Dude. Come on, be honest. That's a pretty solid trilogy.
I have to agree. I also have to say that Captain America is what superhero, and they stayed true to it, is what superheroes are all about.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he's a, and you guys have heard me say this before, but he's a good guy for the sake of being a good guy. He doesn't have to have his dad be killed like Daredevil, or his uncle like Peter Parker, or his parents like Batman. You know, we could all go on and on with the revenge, you know, or the making up for, you know, something that he did wrong or something he didn't do or whatever. But Captain America does it because it's he's got these powers, and it's just like Spider-Man, like this in Civil War, when Peter Parker says, you know, when you can do the things that I can do and the bad stuff happens, the bad stuff happens.
Yeah.
Kind of your fault. And that's what superheroes are all about. These days, every time you turn on YouTube, it's like, you know, Wolverine kills Thor. Thor kills, you know, Reed Richards. Hulk kills, you know, whatever.
And everybody kills the Hulk.
Everybody kills all the quote unquote heroes who are not heroes anymore. They're now just superpowered beings. You know, there's nothing for us to aspire to in these characters anymore. You know, so Captain America, this is my rant, is what comics are and should be about. And I will get off my soapbox now until
I hear you, bud.
Somebody
don't fall though. Just step lightly down.
Can you hear me from this way up here on this high horse?
Yeah. No, but plus it's, you know, I think they were really well done, but I did love the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies for different reasons. I think the first one was my favorite in terms of, wow, this is a super entertaining movie for an obscure property. You know, of course, grew up with the original Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, reading some of those comics. Not every one, but, you know, Vance Astro and the gang. You know, and it was kind of cool. I remember like, who's this guy? Is that Captain America? Future? What? No, it's not. But he's got a shield. It's kind of like Captain America.
I love,
you know,
Vance Astro. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, then I read. You know, you couldn't always get that many comics, but read a bunch of them. And of course, then you had the new Guardians that came out that were very popular, obviously. But then I'm like, how are they going to do a movie with these quote unquote rejects? Although I think, you know, Drax the Destroyer, very cool character. But they did a nice job with that. But
Well, they did something that was pretty smart, which is that they, the first three, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, they were pretty much, these are comic book movies for translating to the screen. And then I think somebody said, we should sort of branch out into other genres. We should do some comedy. We should do some like horror. And whether or not they all worked out, is not really the point. But with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, they said, hey, let's go for comedy, because people might be getting tired of the same formula.
Well, plus Thor, aka Chris Hemsworth, has just got great comedic talent. So Ragnarok worked with that maybe a little bit too much comedy, but it wasn't over the top like Love and Blunder, and just you get something that's mildly successful. You go way too much in that comedy route, and then all the snarkiness all the time. It's just Guardians is a little bit more keyed to having that comedy, and I think it makes a little bit more sense in that with some of those characters, especially the way they portrayed Star-Lord in the movies. And Turo's not a fan of 3. He said it was like watching someone smash a collector car, then repair it with body filler. I feel your pain. Yeah, I got an old Mustang. I did use a lot of body filler, but it was Grandma's Mustang, and the thing rusted. The quarter panels rusted away. There was nothing left. So I remember to get it on the road. We're in high school. My buddy.
I feel your pain, brother.
We got the Bondo. We got the fiberglass, and we got the wire mesh, and I had to pass inspection. You couldn't have any holes through the quarter panels to pass inspection, so it wasn't the prettiest of jobs. I couldn't afford new quarter panels. I did buy new fenders and put new fenders on body parts, but the quarter panels that quote was like $5,000 or something, with all the body work.
Hey, if I could go back to Mark's comment about not Love and Thunder, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's the comedy that made that movie good at all. I think it's the first time that you had Thor full powered. In the Avengers, he was basically getting sucker punched by the Hulk, and he was getting beaten by the Hulk. In this, you see, okay, this guy is at least 5,000 years old. He's got the battle skills, whereas the Hulk just has blind rage and strength. And then and then at the end, or towards the end, you find out that he doesn't just use the hammer to collect lightning and dispel it. He controls lightning. He's, are you Thor, god of hammers? I think they went wrong by having Gila be so much more powerful than him.
Breaking the hammer,
and I mean, she basically
spoiler alert.
She could have killed him at any time, and they had to use. Well, if they haven't seen it by now, I don't think.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
But I think
going with that?
I think the stuff on Hulk World, and the stuff where Thor is being so powerful is probably what, and of course the great Immigrant Song just at the right time. All that stuff is great.
But they ruined the whole Planet Hulk story. I mean,
they did. Yeah, there's no way to there's no way to go back and do that now. And plus, there's no Beta Ray Bill, which is a tragedy.
Yes.
It was supposed to be Hulk fighting Silver Surfer in that, and the character of Meek. They went, they made those characters a joke.
Meek was kind of a joke already.
Yeah, no, but in the comics, he turns traitor and he betrays everyone, gets a bunch of characters killed.
Yeah, he's a coward. That's a good point. And they kind of tell you that from the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just a comedic joke, and Korg is a comedic joke too, with Tahiti Wahiti's voice, and just
right,
nothing like the comics. So I mean,
right.
I mean, you make great points. That 100% agree with them, but I think it didn't. How many people that saw the movie read the World War Hulk and Planet Hulk comics? I mean,
and Thor,
true blue Marvel fans, but did my buddies who I dragged to the movie read it? It's like no. So I'm kind of groaning in the movie theater when I'm seeing Korg and Meek in the way they're acting with those voices.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, Valkyrie, they just shoehorned this character in, and essentially she's a coward, a drunk, and a traitor who tries to sell her king into slavery. And then after all of that, Thor
True.
goes, "Oh, you should be the king." It's the stupidest thing ever.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
so
Absolutely
stupid.
you know,
She
see,
was
we're kind of
terribly
beating around
cast,
the
too.
bush with it, but in all honesty, what they did was over 4 movies, they thoroughly emasculated Thor. I mean, they really
Yes.
did. The
Yeah.
treatment of Thor with and there again, I didn't grow up with Thor was not something that I gravitated towards, but I don't think any character in all those movies of the Avengers was more maligned than him. You know, I mean,
I
it's
tend to
he's
agree.
fat, dumpy Thor. I mean,
Yep.
come on,
Yeah.
enough, huh?
Yeah.
And a lot of that is probably, you know, as Mark alluded to, Chris Hemsworth loves to
It
do
was him.
comedy. He
It's
likes
his
to
idea.
do different kind of stuff. So I can just see him
Right.
and
He's
him
good
and
at it.
Psycho.
He's got a knack for it. Yeah.
He's good at it, but he needs to do it in the right roles, you know. And he
Yeah,
does it.
yeah.
He does good accents. His American accent was pretty darn good in the first Star Trek movie. But you can't just take something like, you know, like Thor and do that. You could do it with Iron Man as they did.
He was really
But Thor is the big bad guy. I mean,
Thank you, Joe.
he's a god, you know. So they should have treated him with a little more, you know. There was, you know, I'm not a big fan of the Michael J. Straczynski run, but there was a great part where Iron Man basically is like, "All right, we're going to do this the hard way," and Thor rips off his armor and says, "It's time you learn the difference between a man in a metal suit and the god of thunder."
He whipped his ass.
And as you can read that, you can almost hear it, you know, in your head, you can hear him say, "And the god of thunder," you know.
I can hear him in John Rhys Davies' voice, the God of Thunder.
Yeah, or you know, or for me, it'd be like Mark Strong, you know, the god of thunder.
But John Rhys Davies actually did his voice on that '90s animated cartoon. So when I hear Thor talk into the real Thor deal,
yeah.
I think like there's a scene when he goes after Galactus, who's taking him. Stay thy hand, villain, or suffer the wrath of Thor. God
That
of
was John
Thunder.
Rhys Davies?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Watch
You did
is
a
this
nice
Earth-
job of channeling
Earth's
that.
Mightiest
Yeah.
Heroes?
No. This was in the mid
90s.
In the mid '90s, the Fantastic Four cartoon, the second season,
Oh.
which was brilliant. It was like Kirby. He was in 2 episodes, and one of the
Okay.
ones when he fights Ego and gets beaten by Ego, he goes, "Where the power of the gods did I know? I thought it was perhaps time to seek out the power of reason and intellect, and so I sent forth my hammer Mjolnir to find you, Reed Richards." He was, whoa, man! When
I
Thor
think
talks,
I think you've watched this episode more than once.
oh, so many. Watch thyself, Galactus. Thor has brought giants mightier than you to their knees. He threatens Galactus. He's so Thor.
He should be the most powerful guy in the, you know, except for of course Odin and maybe Zeus.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
You can make an argument for Hercules as well, except he doesn't have the hammer or the, you know, the thunder.
He's got a mace, yeah.
But yeah,
The
yeah,
maces
you're right.
are illegal in New York City.
They did make, although Thor did have, in my opinion, one of the greatest entrances of a superhero in a superhero movie when he lands on the wing of the jet. And he's sort of riding it almost like a surfboard.
That was pretty cool.
Rips the door
That
open
was
and then
nice.
grabs him, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
that was great. But then,
yes, that was nice.
of course, they did sort of undo it a minute later when Iron, you know, hear me, brother, and then Iron Man, you know, but he kind of kicks Iron Man's ass a little bit.
The guy that does his voice on Earth's Mightiest Heroes also did a really good job. By the way, they were really good.
All those voices were good.
Oh, Brian Bloom as Captain America is fantastic.
Yeah,
I think Captain America, hear that guy's voice.
Yeah, because he was more military sounding than.
Oh man,
I love what
Eddie's soldier.
Chris, not Hemsworth, the other guy, Evans. He did a great job, especially with Steve, but you know, Skinny Steve. But he never kind of got that. He never kind of got that when he gave the orders at the end of Avengers. Spoiler alert. He didn't sound like a military man.
Not particularly, maybe.
You know,
he still did a good job with the acting part. Yeah, but
he did a great job. And as a matter of fact, his acting, I could use his acting to explain a lot of principles of animation because he was doing some stuff. I was like, wow, he's doing that like an animator would animate it, which is very interesting.
Wow.
So he did.
Yep.
He smash.
Yeah. So But yeah, Thor much misaligned.
Yep. Let me
what a
just finish
shame.
up with the Star Cruiser here. So this looks like it's only 2 days really that you're on the Star Cruiser, and not even. Well,
looks
it's
like-
like a day and a half.
Do
It's
they
a
even
half
feed
day.
you on the third day? Do you get some continental breakfast there or something? Or
We get breakfast on day 3, so I guess you're schlepped out of it, and maybe they give the crew a break. But you're really for 6K. You're there
back of the
for
box
a
truck?
day and a half, right? So you get 3 nights. Yeah, you get 2 nights, but it's not even 3 days. You get breakfast at 8:30 to 9:30, and then you get some blue milk maybe, or probably not because that's evokes Luke Skywalker. But yeah, it's a half day, a full day, so it's my God, that's not even that long of a trip. Then you got dining. Wow, let's wear the Empire's hat. That's kind of let's not party while dressed up as. Well, I guess they're gonna try to do some crazy looking alien stuff. But it looks like sea bugs, Cloudburn Times. I'm guessing you're not
Ick.
not eating that.
I'll have the sea bugs and Legos.
Thank you.
You know,
I'll,
I'm
yeah,
sure I'm
I'll
not
take
the
Flobby's portion.
I'm
There
sure
you
I'm
go.
not the first person to say this because I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Let's be honest here, but
I don't
I
know,
think
dude.
he had-
Look around. The competition ain't all that stuff.
I know that's the bad part, Steve.
I
only
thought
making
that's
it
why,
worse.
I
You're
thought
not
that's why
making
you
it
came.
better.
I thought that's why you came here to look like the smart guy in the room.
Yeah.
It's like
But
the old
it's
saying. It's like the old saying: if you want to look thin, get fat friends.
It very much seems to me that Disney would be quite content and probably secretly wishes that they just really want left-leaning, East Coast type, really wealthy people, maybe even wealthy people without kids, to just come to Disneyland now and Disney World. That's what
Totally.
I think.
Totally.
I think they'd be very happy if it was just millionaires and people in the upper 10% who agreed with them politically, and they'd be just as happy to do that. Now, I don't know how substantial that is for the long run, because if you don't have kids liking it, they're not going to really be exposed to it and bring their kids to it 15, 20, 30 years from now. But I think they'd be very content if that was the case.
I saw something recently. It was an article or something where they said that like 40% or some number like that. I could be off by 10% either way. Of the people who go to Disneyland and Disney World are childrenless adults.
I have to say, I went in the early '90s. There was a trade show in Florida, and I took my wife. Well, I don't even. Well, we were married at the time. I think we were. Yes, we were married. But
You
I'm
better,
just joking. Yeah,
you better
we
remember
stayed-
quick.
I
But we
can't remember
stayed
about
at-
my girlfriend or my wife.
If
Hmm.
she ever watches these, man, you're dead.
Well,
Yeah,
man.
you're in
dead
trouble,
man.
dude.
Dead man walking.
You'll be the one sleeping on Kalabby's couch.
I'd like to
Yeah.
state for the record, Mark does not have a secret girlfriend in Orlando that he goes and sees every
But I remember we stayed at.
Nobody would have him with his habit for collectibles.
But it was actually one of the. Well, no knock on my kids that I love to death, but we went there and before kids, and we stayed at the ESPN. I think it's closed down now, but they had like an ESPN hotel on the boardwalk there. It was an ESPN bar, so you could watch all the sports at Disney. It was a brand new hotel that had just opened, so you're staying on Disney. We kind of splurged. I guess work paid for part of it too, which helped. So yeah, the sports complex in Orlando, and it was really really a lot of fun. And you could hang out and watch the games, and then you're staying at Disney, so if you buy something, like send it back to my room. So it was really all brand new too, like I said, back in the 90s. I think it was called Disney's Boardwalk or something. I can't remember the heck of the name of the place that we stayed at, but it was just really top notch. And then they pick you up at the airport, which I guess they don't do anymore. If you're staying there, then they drive you right to your hotel, and everything's checked in. So really top notch job back then. And we were looking at all the people, the kids and this strollers, screaming and crying at the end of the day. God bless them, but they we're just the poor. We're like, we're never coming here with kids, We're just had so much fun, just just being able to go. And then you go to Epcot, you just drink around the world and just do whatever you want, there without kids. It was pretty nice, I have to say. So it was fun, but of course we went like, yeah, it was Disney's Boardwalk Inn. I'm just looking, which is pretty darn nice. But yeah, we we brought our kids a bunch of times. But yeah,
Well,
it was
Mark,
pretty nice to be with our kids.
What was more fun, when you brought your kids or when you went that one time?
Well, with the kids, because the memories with the kids, I got to say.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of my point, buddy.
But it was, yeah, you got me. But that was a great question, yeah. But it was, super fun to be there, and then we almost bought like a vacation package there. I guess you could with timeshare. We almost did it, which probably would have made money on, considering how Disney took off, from the '90s to
Right.
2010. I mean, it went way. They almost went bankrupt in the '70s. Which people, I don't know if people remember.
If you saw some of those movies, you would know why. Yikes!
Yeah.
Those are pretty cruddy.
Well,
yeah, the monorails, JT Kirk. Dadman goes to Disneyland. He said,
yeah.
"I hear they're falling apart now.
Monorail.
They're really bad. They smell bad.
Really?
They're old. They're not clean." Yeah, I guess Disney's not keeping everything as clean as they used to. No, that's third
They're
person,
mad.
but,
They're mad at Florida, dude.
Disney
yeah.
is a billion-dollar corporation again because of the animators who did Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and The Little Mermaid, all of whom now are doing something else. One or two of them are still working as animators for Netflix or something else. But once CG came along, they just got rid of all the masters and said, "Bye, guys. Good luck. Well, right if you find work."
Well, that was so much fun going to the Disney studio. I think it was a Disney MGM, as they called it back in the day, and you could talk to an animator, and then they had a class. They would show you how they drew the characters, and of course, then the guy he's doing all these sketches, and then they shred them at the end. Sorry, we're not allowed to give any of these away. And everyone's like, "No, those were so good." He's like, "Well, they're just sketches. You did, just just rough sketches." And I'm like, wow, that looks so damn good. These guys are such pros, at their job, to sketch Mickey Mouse or whatever.
Right.
You're like, sorry, can't get, not allowed to give them away.
I met some of these guys, and they are the most interesting people, not just about animation, just the most interesting people you would ever meet.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, one guy, the guy that animated the genie, he was working in England doing commercials and turned them down 3 times for Aladdin.
Wow.
Until they basically said, "You can do whatever you want for the genie. We'll just leave you alone and go at it." And people give Robin Williams all the credit, and he deserves a great amount of credit. But without Eric Goldberg to animate the way he did,
it was beautiful animation.
It was amazing animation. Or there's a guy named Andreas Deha whose parents fled. He was raised in Germany, but his parents fled Germany or something like that during World War II. He had this really fascinating backstory. And as a child, he was this poor little child somewhere, I think in France, somewhere in Europe, who wrote 2 of these old Disney animators that did everything, like Cinderella and, Pinocchio, all that stuff, and said, I want to be an animator when I grow up. What can I do? And they said, draw. Just draw all the time, draw everything. And the guy did. And when he was an adult, he sent them their sketchbook, and they showed it to whoever the boss was at the time and said, "Hey, we think this guy has potential." And with no animation experience, the guy came over and learned animation and did all the bad guys that you guys like, the second golden age of Disney. Jafar, Scar, all the bad guys, Andreas Deja animated. And he's a fascinating guy. So, yeah. Sorry, get off on tangent.
I just want to read this comment by Steve. It was because we're Clobbering Times and reviewing Deep Space Nine. So Molly there was an episode where Molly time traveled and she became an 18-year-old kid who was feral since she'd been living by herself. And then the parents, Brian and they were going to send her back in time and destroy the time portal and trap her 200 years in the past so she could be back on the planet by herself and be happy. It's like, what parent would send their kid to live on a planet by themselves 300 or 200, 300 years in the past and just to give them a bag of stuff?
That's
like,
true.
oh, we're never going to see her
If that was
again.
Odo's kid, he'd kill everybody just to get
Yeah. So
Maurice
Kiko
out
and
of there.
O'Brien, we're gonna send adult. Yeah, so he's saying send an adult Scar Cruiser hotel.
It was
That'd be
really
too
stupid,
cruel to
horrible.
That was horrendous episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep. Yeah. And the ratings. I was able to be in the chat for a few minutes last night. But yeah, you and I'm a little bit kinder reviewer. But yeah, you and Raquel, your average was 0.8 basically. So it's like a D- for the season. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That stuff. Yeah.
Sorry.
That stuff.
All the middle season.
Yeah. Well, the real action don't begin till next Saturday. So there you go.
Maddie Zaddy, I think, has to tell you something.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to fly.
Okay.
Although I did just read Donnie Pearson's comments about how he enjoyed the live remake of Aladdin as much as the original. Donnie, the only thing I can say to that is there are several side-by-side comparisons on YouTube. Go look at them and then tell me what you think, because it's really a very pale imitation. They did reuse the songs, but it's just there's no comparison when you look at them side by side.
I have no use for the live version of any of those animated films.
Nope.
Careful. Will Smith will come smack you when you're not ready. He'll sucker punch you.
I wish he'd try.
I haven't watched that one yet.
No, you're as big as he. You're bigger than he is, so he would never do that.
It would bounce off.
You're not 5'7" and 125 pounds, but.
Oh, I totally let him smack me. I'd fall on the ground too and be in a coma.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I hope
What
he does. I mean, I'll make me some money.
be cashing in.
Please don't do it.
That's what Jim Carrey, in a moment of clarity, because he's kind of a nutcase.
He's a nut.
He said I'd have sued him for $200 million or whatever it is, whatever he's worth.
Absolutely. And is he bite? He could still do it probably.
The thing is that Chris Rock did the right thing, because now all the world is calling Will Smith a little biatch. And everybody is respecting Chris Rock for being a man, taking it on the chin, so to speak, and moving on with his life. Yes, he did get some comedy out of it, but he kind of did take the high road. Now, I would have totally taken the low road. I'd have been like, my neck, my back, my ovaries.
Hell, Steve, I know you'd have decked the boy, and you would have easily been able to deck him.
He would have. He would have turned his back on me. He would not. Well, turning your back on somebody is a biatch move.
After you do that,
it's disrespectful, and it would have not have been a pretty.
Well, he wouldn't even got the slap on you. You'd have knocked it back so fast you'd have stopped before he got there. But yeah,
I don't know about that. Those things are hard to see coming. If somebody's not squaring off at you, what he did was
he thought he was messing with him. He thought it was like teasing him.
You saw him laughing. Yeah, he's like,
he thought he was gonna come up there and like play with him and then hug him and just give him nuggies or whatever. Yeah, man.
Right. Yeah, because they'd always been on good terms.
True.
But he's been manipulated and demasculine. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hail to Captain Infinity.
Yeah, hail Captain.
I want to read this comment from Turi. Said he got a Camaro in L.A. and the person wanted a license plate, so the plates read Leia. So that would be cool. Yeah, if it was Princess Leia. Very nice.
But before I go, and I'm about to leave because I got to finish painting the bathroom before the paint dries on the brush. Las Vegas has to be the Star Wars fan capital of the universe. There are at least two. I work for a fairly small company, and there's a license plate that's Dagobah, and another one else that's I forget, something Jedi related. There's also a very clever one. It's a white car, and they put blue doors on it, and the license plate is Car 2 D2.
Nice.
which is very clever.
Nice.
I've seen so many Star Wars license plates here. This has got to be the Star Wars fan capital of the world.
Wow. Could be.
So,
Nice.
Yeah. And with
Nice.
that, thank you again, Mark, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Good night,
being had.
Steve. Yep.
Take it easy,
Take
bro.
care.
Ladies
Great
and
hanging with you.
gentlemen,
Uh,
thank you all. Have a good
Later,
night.
bud.
I'll be listening while I paint.
Okey-doke.
Yeah, we're not going to go too much longer because famous last words.
A
Gotta
likely
get up
story.
early.
Yeah.
Likely story. Yeah, yeah.
Mark's been saying we're only going for a
wait.
half an hour for an hour and 40 minutes. So just
Yeah, let's plan a trip here on the Galactic Star Cruiser. Yep.
get it in now.
Get it now, right? Yep. Can't get I don't think trouble for playing this, but who the heck knows? But yeah, look. There's your viewport. Oh, and you got USB chargers.
And there's Courtney.
Nice. That's some real old time.
So part of it is cool, but yeah, look, that's the standard. If you've been in a hotel, that's the standard safe that every hotel has. That should have had like some. That should have had like some Star Wars graphics on it or something. Something Star Wars in there. I mean,
Oh, that is the same safe.
Right?
Everywhere.
hey, Gordon.
That's
Yeah,
supposed to be
don't
the
you recognize
bedroom.
that? That's the bathroom. Yep. I mean,
And
I guess that's your cool. Oh, it says cooling supply. The cooling supply unit.
nothing
But yeah.
screams Star Wars except maybe the designs of those lights in the mirror. I guess that's Death Star looking thingy. Or
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pretty lame. Whole
Yeah,
thing, man.
it's-
What does
Yeah.
that symbol even mean?
I guess that's the Galactic Star because you're not in a military ship. You're on just a ship.
Okay.
It's a pleasure ship, I guess, technically
I
too.
gotcha.
So
Fair enough. Blech.
yeah, 4 to 5. Yeah. So yeah, wall put down bed. Yeah,
This man. Hey,
interactive TV.
Yeah, that's awful. I mean, they're going,
I
you know,
guess they have a-
guys, we really spent this much money on this crap. What a couple of dopes we are. Honey, did you really spend that much? No, I'm sorry. Good.
No, it's okay. Well, I guess you could spend more money. They have a suite here. Oh wow! So
That's
listen,
nice.
this costs even. Oops, this costs even more money, I guess, too. So they got.
Were you on a Star Cruiser or a
But for $6,000, the
Good night,
cheap one
Turo.
should have this. Good night, Turo. Thanks for hanging with us. Have a great week. Yep. Thank you
Night,
for
Turo.
being here. Yeah, I mean, look, you got a lounge area, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
stay at, like, Marriott Suites or whatever. It does maybe.
everything's tiny. I get
300 bucks a month.
claustrophobia, man. I'm getting claustrophobic just looking at these rooms.
Yeah. Those
Lord,
So this is the super deluxe suite, I guess, right?
for skinny people.
Oh, so it had some graphic on the left here. Yeah, one
I mean,
queen
that's
size bed
Tiny.
or 2 twin side wall beds, pulled ends, amenities, cooling supply unit, in cabin
Ah, okay.
safe. Interactive. They list actually as safe.
Come on.
One
That's
bedroom.
Yeah. Wow.
So I mean, this is the super deluxe. You got a critter in there, I guess. I mean,
Jeez.
you got
That's
a wet
true.
bar, I guess. You got a bar, right? Cooling supply
Yeah.
unit,
nice.
That's
but
true.
nothing
Finity.
Star
Give me your own
Wars,
bedroom.
like no Star
No.
Wars stuff.
It's no Star
Anywhere.
Warsy at all.
All
It's just,
right, so
what is this? It's a, yeah,
that's your
man.
bar, I guess. The
but that's
bottle is
cheap.
available for use. What does it say?
Hey, Rich
This
Chucklehead.
may be refilled in the atrium. I guess it's just water.
Wow.
I don't know.
Man, all the places you could go with the kind of money this thing costs you, the kind of trip, the big, nice trip you can have with your whole family, with what this room costs you.
In cabin safe, like I'm gonna get robbed by pirates. And look at the hinges here. This is just standard El Cheapo
Hey, Jill.
hinges.
There's actually a
Hey, Joe.
YouTube video you can watch from a lawyer who's a locksmith pick guy, and he'll tell you how to get in that safe in under 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, these safes. I'm sure probably is a crack, but this like these they didn't even hide the hinges or do something futuristic with the hinges. It's just like a normal hinge.
Exactly. Finity, that's exactly what getting your girlfriend to dress in Princess Leia. Slave girl in metal bikini is the essential Star Wars weekend component. Won't be happening at this one though.
I clicked on a back.
Oops,
Then.
sorry.
Sorry. Yep.
Sorry.
Click it back. Yep. I was going to the other screen and I clicked
That's
on
cool.
the back.
That's cool. I'm with you, Finity. But
But,
yes, indeed, Jill, indeed. And that looks nice and dull.
yeah, I mean, ooh, USB charging ports.
Yeah, good.
I mean,
Thank
the
God.
hotel I was at this weekend had about 20 USB charging ports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look how
Or
small this TV is.
you just give me a plug, and I can actually bring my charger from home and plug it because I bring it with me anyway when I go to Florida. Oh, look,
Ooh,
it
look,
converts to a bed. That's cool.
Twin size pull down bed. Yeah.
Mark, did you notice one of the price points was 3 adults and a kid? What is that about?
I don't
What, are you
know.
bringing your nanny with you to watch the kid? Because I know my nanny, whenever she's watching my kid, I always like to keep her in the same room with me at a hotel. That's not weird at all.
What the heck is this? A secret passageway?
That's for your
You
puppers.
got to be short to get in there.
What the heck?
What is that?
Was that the?
It's a
That's not a
doggy door
full-
for your dog to go back and forth to the kid suite.
Is that the secret passageway? Oh, the kids can crawl in.
No, that little black robot vacuums when you're not in there from the Death Star.
Oh, queen size bed. You don't even get a king size bed. I mean, they're advertising USB charging ports. This is
That's
hysterical. It's like, why would you even effing mention this? Show that underbed storage. I'm paying $6,000.
Did you also know that there's air in your room? All you can
Is what-
breathe. No extra charge.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Viewport shuttered. Oh, I could close the windows. I can close the windows on the TV
Blast
screen.
shield.
Oh my god! So I guess this is a passageway for the kids to crawl through. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Well, the controller looks themed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Jesus Christ.
those hinges. It's not looking impressive. Yeah. Droid link panel. Okay, you got a droid that can come in and clean your room, I guess, or
Whose idea was this? Wow, it's just. I mean, why?
and you have
Why
soap
did
and
anyone wants to
lotion.
do this?
All right, you got a nice clean shower.
Okay.
I thought it was a sonic shower.
It should be
Yeah, it should
Sonic.
be a
Yeah.
Sonic shower.
Sorry, I don't even know what property that belongs to.
The Star Trek.
Thank you.
But that's the suite. God, that's the suite. God, a Grand Captain suite. Oh, sleeps 8 passengers, 2 queen beds, 2 bunks, 1 adult, 2 wall.
Dude.
Oh, and they call it a mini refrigerator there. Let's see this one. 2-room Grant. I mean, but it's the same. It's the same thing, I guess. Then it's just got that 1 extra room, and it's got 2 bedrooms off of it, probably. Yeah. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Just added a.
And you said this is
Added a
closing in
bedroom.
October, huh, Mark?
September 30th is the last cruise.
Man. Well, kids, if your crazy rich uncle dies before October and you have to spend $100 million in a month to inherit the rest of his money, this is where you go.
And then you'll be so bored, you say, you leave early probably. Or you just sleep the whole time. Bring something to read,
I'd have John Candy with me to keep me entertained.
It's boring beyond belief, man.
It really is. And if Anna is right, dude, the rock thing that's hysterical. I got to see if there's a video of that online.
Yeah.
Can you imagine bringing your kid in the room and going, "Cool, let's pretend like we're going to move
Kids are going to be
with our
bored
mom."
shitless.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So look at the cost. 2 guests per cabin is $4,800. So I guess with that, that's without kids, right?
This thing doesn't really go into space, right? It doesn't really go
No,
into
it doesn't.
space.
No,
Okay.
no.
You think for that money, it needs to be like a real spaceship.
Yeah, and then this one is $5,000 for 3 guests per cabin, 2 adults, 1
Oh my
child,
goodness.
and then 3 adults, 1 child. Why would it be 3 adults like you said? But
That's weird, man.
That would be 4, 2 adults and 1. That's very weird. Very weird. Very weird.
How much is that one?
Well, that's the $6,000. But that's what we're talking about. 4 people. I can't
Jeez
imagine
Louise.
that 3 adults and 1 child. That's
D. Bud Martin opened his first comic book shop for less money than that.
probably, yeah. Prepare for launch.
You can buy some pretty good old back issues for that little Golden Age comic.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Geez, you could send your kid to community college in Louisiana for a year on that, Clobby. What are you talking about? You're going to study fine arts. You're going to go to Delgado first, kid. I can tell you that.
Yeah. It's just very sad. I mean, just
it is.
Yeah.
just too bad that they went with this. Of course, not a surprise though, but they went this route. And then I guess you can cosplay if you want. I guess but let's have costume guidelines. I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
except
know.
for you can't dress like anybody from the original trilogy.
Probably not, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a shame. And then you're inside the whole time too, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a weird concept, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's just odd.
Yeah. I think the bones of the idea is a good idea, but yeah, so it's really weird. Yeah, three adults, 1 kid. That's kind of weird though. Yeah. Well, I didn't go on the Star Cruise. I did not have fun on the Star Cruise. I had fun this weekend, but I don't have that kind of money to go on the Star Cruise.
What? You think you had fun on one? You went on that?
No, I don't think. No, just to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark did not go on this thing because he's still alive.
I'm not sure what I'm not sure what maybe Donnie's referencing something else, but yeah. But yeah, this looks extremely lame. But yeah, I would have. Could you imagine if you like book a trip to go on the Millennium Falcon and smuggle, Luke Skywalker to Alderaan? It's that would have been pretty wild. But yeah, this is just turned out to be a big money loser eventually, because they had to build this hotel too. So couldn't have been cheap. I mean, I think they definitely did cut some corners. Yeah, that's what that was the first concept of. That's that spot on the property, but it doesn't even look like anything from a distance, as we said. So if they'd made it look like that on the outside,
Yeah.
damn, that would have been kind of cool, right? I mean, I'm sure it just as lame, but at least look like something on the outside.
How stupid they are, because if they'd have done it right, went with old Star Wars, you could have actually had 2 sides of the hotel, and you could have repeat customers. Like one time you go as Rebels, one time you go as Empire. Dude, you could have got away with having cruddy rooms too. Just say you're on a troop transport, 12 people to a room. Everybody gets a bunk. But you know what? When you're younger, you'd go nuts for something like that. Market it towards groups. College kids, youth groups, stuff like that and all. You could have made a mint. The people would have been, there'd have been a waiting list for 6 months to get into something like that.
And the food does not look good, I have to say. When you try to make alien food, it's like, who knows what alien food? Why don't they have steak and potatoes on other planets?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, somebody said Jay had reviewed it, and I will tell you this.
What did
I
he say
did hear
about it?
Jay talking about, Drunk 3PO, saying one time about how, the food was just ridiculous, and then they show some of it, and it is, like this, it's like, oh, let's make everything look green, or make it purple.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, like this stuff. Yeah, it does not look good. So I think Mike and I'm going to say lose some weight for those 2 days.
Yeah,
all these green seeds. They made shrimp, blue shrimp.
Oh my God, Nevin!
They just put blue dye on the shrimp, and that looks even worse. I usually love sea bugs, so Infinity Escape Pod Hotel. Yeah, it's a blue shrimp. And what's on top? Oh, that's 2 shrimp interlocked, I guess, in an embrace
escape
there.
Pod hotel.
That is profane.
It looks like the whole hotel looks like an escape pod.
It just looks just so gross. It looks so gross.
really
He's
does.
talking about
Blue
Who
food
is
is
that?
not appealing, folks.
blue sea bugs. Yeah,
Even if I like sea bugs, I wouldn't eat that crap.
it doesn't look good. Yeah. So the food, yeah, they just make the food all these weird colors, I guess, to try to make it seem, it's something else, and it's oh yeah. So I guess Jay said it probably wasn't that good, right? Yeah.
Ooh, and I thought it smelled bad on the outside.
And
Yeah.
remember, folks, this is coming from someone who consumes white clam pizza.
That's right.
I'll show you the pizza I had tonight. Actually, let me go.
Don't
go
forget
show
about
everyone
Jim
the-
Brown.
Wait.
later. You
Before
wanna
we
say
leave
something?
Disney,
Yeah,
I do
we'll do
have a
that.
question to ask you guys because I know y'all
Sure.
traverse in other circles and also, especially you, Clobby. How bad potentially could this writer strike hurt Disney as a whole as a company?
They have writers.
Yeah, AI writers from what from what Loki was saying the other night. It sounds like they just plug it into a computer and it
I don't think
prints out
they
a
use
script.
writers. I don't think writers working for them. So I know it's a stupid, glib, and weird answer, but I don't know. I mean, it hurts. It slows up production for sure for anybody, but because they can't make anything, right? They can't do anything.
Well, it
yeah.
seems to me like they're taking hits on every side right now. I don't think I'm,
Yeah, they're in big time trouble all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Mark?
fair answer.
I mean, it just depends on how long it's gonna. Obviously, it's just time. How long is that strike gonna last? So I think that's the. But I mean, they haven't had a hit in a while. I think too, right? So, as
Yeah, and I got to
like they
tell you
have right-
something. If anybody from the Writers Union is listening to this stream, I'm going to tell you right now, stop putting your writers on interviews and doing stuff on YouTube. You guys are the most unlikable people I have seen in quite some time. You're obnoxious. You're wealthy. Nobody feels sorry for you. And you sound like you're arrogant children when you talk about stuff. Just do your little
Have they been
picket
doing that?
lines and leave it alone because you guys are really coming across as unlikable, man.
Oh, you've been seeing them on interviews, have you?
Oh, yeah, dude. This Adam Conover guy who had a show on,
Oh, he's
he's a big time writer because he had a show on True TV.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he is an unlikable cuss, man.
Oh,
he
yes.
really is. Woof.
Yeah, I think I've seen.
Arrogant
I think
through and through, brother. Look him up,
Jackass.
gang, if y'all haven't seen him.
I want this pizza.
That
So
looks
this
actually
is a
pretty
normal
good, Mark.
pizza. This was from Rico's Pizza. Plug if Rico's would like to sponsor Sunday Night Geekery, contact me at
Mark will work for
356-7. Yeah. So this is a local place in town that makes hot oil pizza. Colony Diner or Colony Pizza was one of the originator, and I guess this guy left the restaurant and kind of copied their pizza, but they've been doing really well. It's basically the same stuff, and it's a very thin crust pizza. So you order them. They're basically individual pizzas. Yeah, this is pizza. Yep. So it's kind of a close-up picture, but it's
What kind of pizza is that?
So this is sausage.
It looks like onions on there. Oh, no.
I did have onion. I love onions. Yeah, so
Okay,
sausage, onions, but you can order without the
You don't
onions.
have to worry about me fighting me for it.
And ricotta cheese. I added some ricotta cheese to it,
no.
which is good. Yeah, I love the.
I'm kidding. I
ricotta
don't know.
cheese.
I
I'm a
don't know what
time-
that is. But
It's like a you would like it. It's cheese. I mean, it's cheese. So it's good. So that was my pizza. You're not gonna like. This is my son's pizza. He got barbecue chicken pizza.
exactly.
That's always
Finity's
pretty good.
right, by the way. Finity, if it were me, I would hire you, brother. Just let you know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, what is this here now? What do we have here?
This is barbecue chicken pizza.
Okay,
So
that's
chicken,
acceptable.
barbecue sauce and
No
and
onions, I
cheese.
hope.
Yep. Now this next one you're not gonna like. This is my wife's pizza. All right. So what's the over under on how? All right.
Ugh, damn it, Mark's wife. Why?
Oof.
My
It looks like a
Chicken
muffalata
salad-
throw up in your
Chicken
wife's
salad
Mark.
pizza.
Oh, God.
So they put salads on top of the pizza. I've never ordered one. I don't know if that should be allowed in America. But so
Mark, Miss D must be a dainty thing because if I tried to eat that, dude, it'd be all down the front of me.
actually it's a lot of food because you got couple. It's stacked up pretty high with the lettuce and the chicken, and is that bacon in there? I think too.
Did she have to eat that with a knife and fork, dude?
No, you just use your pizza eating skills. You kind of bend it, and you.
Okay.
It's I try to bite. It's actually pretty good, but I would never order one. But yeah, they put salad on top of the pizza. I don't know.
Did you guys share pizzas or just
No, these are individual pizzas. I mean, you can,
Oh.
but that's why normally I get anchovies on mine, and no one wants to try a piece of mine.
Mark, you know what I call an individual pizza? A medium.
A medium. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, when you get a second, I
Yep.
sent you a picture in the Geekery Twitter thing of what we all would think a Star Wars theme park should be.
All right, let me
You want to
check
take a look?
this
I don't know
out.
if you
Yep.
can show it on here or not, but I think
It's on
you might.
in the clubhouse or in the
Yes, in the Geekery clubhouse and on Twitter.
Oh, okay, so now Geekery. Yep.
Geekery.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen this before. Let me open this a new tab. Yep.
I don't know if you can show that there or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah. Yep. Let's
I'm
see
with
if I
you.
can
I'm with you,
click on it.
Infinity.
Yeah.
This
Here we
is
go,
would
yeah.
make bazillions of bucks right here.
Yeah, I
Lucas
think I've
World,
seen this
folks.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hoth.
look at that, man. How gorgeous would that be? in real life?
Geonosis.
Who wouldn't want-
Geonosis is pretty
What
cool.
Star Wars fan would not want to go to that?
Bestman, right? And you got Death Star in the middle. Thankfully not blown up yet. Yeah, then look, you've got the Carillion cruiser here, the real Millennium Falcon with the round shield antenna. Then you've got that must be Mustafa, yep. Where
Yeah.
Darth Vader is
I'd go to
born.
that.
Yep. Very cool. Kaishak must be back here. It's tough to read, but
Yeah.
Camino with the water and as much as the prequels get, some hate, I mean
No, this is all real deal.
I mean
Star
the prequels had some, the land or the different worlds are pretty cool, I have to say.
Wars.
So
Indoor,
Camino was cool, Naboo was
Dagobah,
interesting.
Kashyyyk, yep.
Yeah, and you got the
mean,
classics too. Yeah, Tatooine,
Naboo,
Coruscant,
yeah. all
hyperspace.
there.
Yeah,
My God, who would not want to go to that if you're a Star Wars
I
fan?
would have just stayed
Oh,
there
man,
forever.
go
And
there
then,
all
yeah,
day.
and then you put a roller coaster in here. You put a couple
Yes.
roller coasters in. You could have a stunt show
Cantina.
here.
Like that, yeah, like there, on Geonosis, where they got a big like a show where Jedi's fight monsters,
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that.
Stunt
Or
show.
maybe some kind of ride or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Death Star could be a big ride inside of that. Imagine if it's big
Yeah.
enough for a crazy, sort of a Space Mountain type roller coaster type thing inside or something.
Take
Where
my
you're going
money.
down
Yeah.
the Death Star trench or something. How cool would that be?
That would
That'd
be
be
cool.
freaking awesome.
I probably would skip the breakfast with Jar Jar, but other than that,
No, Jar.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
but you know what? I wouldn't. The Jar Jar wouldn't bother me so much if it were all the other cool stuff too. I
Right.
hate Jar Jar, but
Hey, Courtney,
I'd put up
welcome
with
back.
it because it would have all the cool stuff with it too.
Yeah, that's true. Mike would even take a picture with the little Ewoks. He'd be so happy.
Oh yeah, that would be my favorite. The indoor thing.
Hi.
I would insist that they have an indoor shooting, like a shooting gallery to shoot Ewoks.
Yeah.
You get to
Oh,
kill
that's me.
Ewoks. That'd be the greatest. And you could even like drive a big AT-AT and step on Ewoks and stuff. That would be fantastic.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Ewok body count. My kingdom for an Ewok body count.
Mike would have to take, but Mike, you'd have to take that ad from Hoth and walk it over there.
It's fine.
You
Yeah.
can only have an
I wouldn't mind.
ATST on it, but you could still smash a lot of Ewoks with an ATST.
Sure. Oh, as long as I'm killing Ewoks, I'm happy. And there should be a thing where you get to beat up Jar Jar, and
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
No, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is really nice. Yeah. Love this. Yep. But
Yeah,
alas, we did not get that. Did you see the pizza we had, Courtney, tonight?
Yes, I did.
All right. So would you eat the salad pizza?
Of course I would. And I had
Okay.
pizza tonight too. Did you see that I had sent that in Twitter? I don't
No,
know
I
if you
missed
saw
it.
my response.
I
You
know,
wrote
I missed.
you were running late because of pizza, and I was
pizza,
sitting down
okay.
at pizza dinner at that.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's your pizza. Yep. There we go. Okay. Yep.
It was everything I'm not supposed to eat, but it was delicious.
Yeah. Oh, screw that. Right. Yeah. So
See, that looks good.
yeah, that was a good pizza.
Is that ricotta on it?
Ricotta.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Let's see if I do
Yeah.
Rico's Pizza. Rico's Pizza.
Clobby and I were going to split a Red Barons tonight, but the time just got away from us, so we couldn't.
I like DiGiorno better, but yeah.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm just trying to think of a cheap pizza everybody would know the name of.
Yeah, that's one. Actually, they got really good ones at Walmart. Believe it or not. Actually, my son taught me how to make pizza. I can make it by myself now.
I like the cauliflower crust ones. Don't judge me.
If you got
Yeah.
rid of those onions, this might work right here, though. Get the onions out of there. Ugh,
Yeah,
I
I'm not a
onions.
big onion person either.
Not in the pizza.
I used to be, but
Now,
not anymore.
guys, if
I
you
love
cook
onions.
the onions down a lot, though, you don't mind it, right?
They're
Like,
soft, yeah.
Seasoning. Okay.
Oh, like peppers and onions, like all put together, in a sandwich or something, sauteed down. I can do that, but not too much onion.
Well, this is what they're famous for. This hot oil pizza with chili peppers on it.
I would have
so
loved that.
That'll
That's
nuke
spicy.
you. Very spicy. Yep, with hot oil. So there's the size of the pan. So they're not that. They're like much better than small, but you could snarf one down pretty easily just
What?
just by
We
yourself.
split a
yeah.
medium tonight.
Well, I mean it's nice because it's
Oh, they don't look that big actually. Now that
they're
on the plate.
they're definitely. I mean, it filled me up. I'm not
The pans made it look
exactly
Did you get
Mr.
an
Skinny,
appetizer?
Yeah. No, we didn't get any appetizers, but we usually get a salad. Yep. So
Did you get dessert?
no dessert tonight either. No. I mean that fills you up. The pizza's pretty big. Yep.
I don't
So-
know. I think if I was graduating from college, I'd pretty much insist you got
Well,
me.
no,
a
this
steak
was
or something
just
bad.
this was just
Oh,
us.
okay.
When we,
Mark, go
This
on
was
camera.
us on the
so I
way
don't feel
home.
weird.
yeah, no, this was just us on the way home. We didn't go
Oh,
take
okay.
Charlie there. Yeah, no, we had like a special dinner last night and stuff. Yeah, so we had a party, but yeah,
Did
I
your
didn't.
mom go up?
Yeah, grandma came up today. Yep, which is good. Yep, so grandma was there. Yep, she made it. Yep. So she got carted around in the golf cart. They took her.
Nice.
How's Misty doing, dude? She's had a wild few weeks, man.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Good,
Her
good.
grandma was there. Yep. So we got to meet Charlie's new girlfriend too, which was fun to meet.
Okay.
The family update here. Yep. So
A new girlfriend.
yeah, well, I kept saying like Charlie, this girl always seems to be hanging around with you. Is she your girlfriend? It's like, oh, I guess you could call her girlfriend. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
girlfriend. Yeah. I know these kids these days. I don't want to get
Is
too
he Captain
involved.
Kirk or something?
No,
I mean-
he's not Captain Kirk.
And I'm just saying, Gene Roddenberry. Did you ever listen to that old interview with Roddenberry interviewed Shatner from the 70s called Inside Star Trek? And
I downloaded that. It's on YouTube. I remember you'd mentioned.
Oh,
I
okay.
gotta watch.
well, he said
some of that,
he was interviewing Shatner, and he said, and this was like 1975. He said, people are always asking me, so I thought I'd ask you, why is it that Captain Kirk gets a new girl every week? And Shatner said, because he uses up the old one.
Oh,
You get canceled for that now.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I think it's funny.
Well,
Yeah.
It became a catchphrase for us. But when we heard that, we would always say that around each other because we, I don't know, we don't
Yeah.
mean anything bad by it or anything because like we could be Kirk, but it is good to
Yeah.
be the captain.
Oh, it's always good to be the captain, right? Yeah.
That, especially that.
Who wants to be scrubbing the decks, right?
But Mark,
But you
I
got
will
to
say
scrub the
this.
decks.
You missed the opportunity to pull off the best dad joke ever, dude. If she was with y'all when you were having that dinner the other night, when the bill came, you should have turned to her and said, "Here, honey, why don't you go ahead and get this for me?"
Yeah, right.
Just give her and watch the table.
No,
freeze.
no, that'd
They
be
go,
too
"Oh,
mean.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding."
That'd be too
No, no.
mean. Too mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't be mean.
I don't think Charlie would appreciate it. That's for sure.
No.
Dad.
Dad, you're in big trouble. Yeah.
Dad, cut it out.
What,
Jesus,
do they
man.
call you Dad or Pops or
Depends on when they're mad at him or not. Probably.
okay?
Yeah.
They're mad at him, like Dad.
Do they call you by your first name? Mark.
Well, once I
Oh.
get to know you enough, yeah. I'm not that. I'm
No,
not a
he means-
freaking.
He means your kids though. Kids.
I use
No,
the
your
royal.
kids.
I tell them I have to. Oh, my kids. Oh yeah, Dad.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that. I thought you meant the girlfriends and boyfriends. Yeah. No. I prefer the royal we. No, yeah.
I call my dad Pops or Papa Dukes or Pa Dukes.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I call my dad, but he never answers me anymore. So
Yeah, that's funny. And I call my mom Mommy Dearest because of the movie. It's a joke. It's a total inside joke. She's the biggest sweetheart, but
All right, so I'm going to show my new vinyl that I got.
Nice.
And I guess we're going to call it an even. We always have to do some show and tell here. We had food.
Yes. You guys are gonna
We gotta
like
get
this.
some vinyl.
It's a full one-piece suit. Mark was fitted for this. It has gloves,
Yes, Joe.
and he sweats a lot in it when he wears it in the summertime.
Oh, that sounds scary.
So you guys, I actually got a new laptop, but it's like
Oh,
a
nice.
really, really cheap. Well, it's like the low end of a. It's a PC laptop, and I have no. I don't remember how to use it now after being
Oh,
on
I
my
thought you were
MacBook.
all about the Mac, kid. I thought you were.
No, I never wanted to be about Mac, but my Mac does not work anymore.
By the way, are you in your new digs yet? Because that looks different to me.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
not all. It's not all set up yet. I just bought a sofa futon bed kind of thing. But yeah,
House,
this is
condo,
my.
apartment.
It's. I have a room downstairs in a house. It's a nice house.
Nice.
And a bathroom over there. And I mean, there's a mess going on here, but it's well, I'm turning everything. I have my octopus curtain from when I used to stream.
Oh, that's cool. Yep.
The room's a mess. It's not set up yet, so.
All
But
right.
I'm trying to make the camera work on this thing. So.
I did show this on the Clubhouse, but why don't we show it on the
Make
Geekery
it
too?
big.
Because that's in big in this. Yep. There we go.
Nice.
So here, so this is Planet of the Vampires. Although there's no vampires in this movie, and it's from Mondo Records. So this is my enabling segment. So you can see the here's the Mondo Death Waltz recording. So they package it really well, which is nice. And this is that really cool
That
movie.
cover. That cover is cool.
That artwork is awesome. So the artwork is by Graham Humphreys. Too bad Hungry Boy's not here to talk about this. And let's see, limited edition splatter record. The record is really cool, and it's a soundtrack. Planet of the Vampires. What else do they say here? Yeah, said to be significant influence on Ridley Scott when making the original Alien. First time on vinyl. I'm forgetting what was this movie in the 63
70s or
67? Was it 7? I'm trying to remember what year this movie came out. Let me get Microtron out of the way here. So really cool artwork, and it's a great movie. I mean, Raquel and Hungry Boy reviewed it.
What is the soundtrack like?
I haven't listened to the vinyl yet, but
is it just soundtrack music, or they actually
soundtrack
songs?
music? Yeah, it's
Oh,
soundtrack
okay.
music. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness!
Look how cool this is. So I wish I could frame this somehow or get this on the wall.
Cool.
Look how cool that artwork is. So
you could always
this sold me when I saw this. I was like, this was a must buy. I was like,
that's amazing.
Mark, I'm not gonna lie. This looks really pricey, man.
$35.
Ah, that's very reasonable.
So it became a must buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't outrageously priced, and this is just gorgeous. Yeah, this is just, and the movie's really cool movie. I mean, it's B movie, but it's elevated by the art of the director, I think, and using what money he had in special effects. The costumes are really cool.
I love B movies, and I love this art. Is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So and that's the skull that kind of inspired the alien there. So it's
wow.
It's
there's a lot of atmospheric lighting. And did Clobbertimes, did you watch this movie when Raquel reviewed it? Or?
No, did you?
I did watch it. Yeah, and I did actually end up liking it. Yeah. So it was good. I mean, it's not, how do I describe it? It's a movie that's definitely worth watching, and it's not vampires. It's more like zombie, undead creatures, and some good twists in it. But the way they set up the story, it's almost like a Star Trek episode in some ways. You could say before Star Trek. Just happen to go to a planet where things go very wrong. Well, the Star Trek crew has been infected by viruses many times, right? So
yeah.
So yeah, it's an Italian movie. Yep. So there's a
back,
score. You can read the titles.
that right part almost reminds me of like a Bowie image or
It
something.
does look kind of like Bowie. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting my greasy mitts on here. I'm gonna have to get my.
Yeah,
Where's
you should
Raquel? I
be. You
gotta
should
get.
be wearing white gloves when you're handling that, bro.
Yeah. Well, when I'm done with it, I always, grab the. Want to mess it up. So. Yeah, because your fingers always have oils on them. It messes things up. Here, I'll show you the vinyl, which is really cool. I'll use the Princess Fiona was going crazy because I was touching the vinyl. This is for you, Princess Fiona. Which is true. You don't want to touch the vinyl.
Splatter vinyl.
Splatter, isn't that sweet?
That is cool.
Yeah. So if I put the light kind of behind it, sorry not to blind everyone, but yeah,
That's purty.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Planet of the Vampire. So yeah, so check this movie out. Yeah, and Jill's saying less of a budget brings out more creativity. So yeah, they had to use atmosphere and lighting and
That is true.
I agree, Jill.
decide to-
Totally.
So the director, yeah, didn't have a ton of money, but what he did, and there's a lot of fog and haze and different colored lights and a lot of tension that builds. So there's something they need to take off from the ship. There's a nice twist at the end. So yeah, definitely check out the movie. And let me put the link in if anyone wants to buy this. I think it's still available on Mondo. I'll have to check. A lot of times.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, I was just say a lot of times these sell out pretty quickly, and this is an extremely obscure movie. And Raquel happened to review it on the Clubhouse, and she was watching B movies on the for the Clubhouse with Hungry Boy, and yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, and there's some great
The art itself is just amazing.
yeah, they are, and then it's got some really great themes in it too. I think so. It's definitely worth. Let me turn that light. You always get whenever you try to show something that I don't have a light box here, but I have to go like that. Yeah.
And
Little bit better.
$35 isn't bad. I think I'm still
It's not
gonna
bad.
hold out. I'm gonna hold out for the Manos Hands of Fate 45.
Yeah,
But that's pretty.
That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah. And a
I should
plain
never
brown
start
wrapper.
collecting again. I don't have the money. There's
That
no
is
way.
nutty.
Not today. Lenrod had a really good point. I liked his comment. He said it's a shame modern vinyl is still digitally mastered. The quality will never be the same. You're never going to get that kind of, I don't know, that scratchy kind of, the record sound, the sound that I love with it being digitally mastered. I never really thought about that. Good point, Lenrod.
Let me get to my regular microphone.
Are we having like a moment of silence for the
No,
death
I
of
was
the
just
sound
flipping
on
my
vinyl?
microphone
I'm just kidding.
in memoriam vinyl. But yeah, no, it's definitely a different sound. Yeah. So Claude says, "Would you try to kill a zombie with it?" Not if I the zombie owes me $35 though. If I try to.
You just roll him afterwards, Mark. I mean, he's dead. He's not gonna miss his wallet. You just take it.
Yeah. So let's go to Mondo shop here and check out if it's still available. Let's see here. So here's Mondo.
Boo.
Let's see if we go to
Oh man,
Marvel
you're
Fanfare
gonna
number
have me
6.
on this.
Marvel Fanfare
Return of
by
the Living. What?
Pete Craig Russell cover there.
Why'd you do this, Mark?
You haven't heard of Mondo
Why?
before?
No, well, yeah, I know, but I've never actually gone on to. I didn't know there was like a website like this.
Yeah, so look at that. Oh, Hungry Boy would love that. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Original soundtrack.
I
Ooh,
like
look at that.
Mothra. There's this guy.
Yeah, Battle for Earth.
I think it was up.
Look at all these cool ones. Yeah, Godzilla.
Okay, you got to
versus
put
Ghidorah.
the link in the private
Yeah,
chat
I shall
somewhere
put
for
the
me.
link. And they got collectibles, Godzilla. I'm just trying to see if they've got let's see.
I just like that
Record
Return
shop.
of the
Let's go to
Living Dead,
record shop. Yep.
that first one.
Well, thankfully the
Brains.
flasher's not flashing. I'd be in trouble. Let's see if we got. I'm just flipping through to see if they've got Planet of the Vampires, but wonder if it's sold out then. Video game soundtracks. Let's see. Let's
Video
just
game soundtracks.
do an old fashioned. Oh, here all music. See if it.
JT
Return of the
Kirk,
Living Dead.
yes, it is an enabling stream.
Galaxy Quest. Tron. How cool is that?
Wow, all these are.
He fights for the user.
Thanks for the users.
Here we go. Planet of the Vampires. So $35. Yep, still
Still
available.
I want it
So let me put this
just for the
in
art.
the chat here. Did I say
Everyone's
Mexican
gonna buy
Godzilla?
it. Don't do it again. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
There we go. Yep. Yeah, we always enable. Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't matter for me because I can't afford it. So I can dream. You can wish.
They have some really fun stuff here. Yep. The figures have been great too. They have these special 1/6 versions. So if we do shop, I think Collections Marvel. Lately, they've had these 1/6 animated version figures that look fantastic.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
cool. It's super expensive.
How much?
$215.
Whoa.
Wow.
What?
That's
Buy a
really
real
It's
big
good.
1/6 1/6 scale.
Rare.
Though, so it's
one.
it's a big 1/6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a big. That's a big figure. 1/6 scale.
That looks like the
So-
90s cartoon.
Yeah, so it's made to be the 90s cartoon.
Kind
Yeah.
of made that way, yeah, the animated series, which they're bringing back, and oh my goodness, no, they're gonna ruin it. I don't know, it's kind of bulky.
They're already bringing back stuff like the 90s.
No, the X-Men had a cartoon in the '90s, and it's getting the people. A lot of it was very popular. It's getting revival. It's supposed to have been already done and coming out soon, but
Yeah.
the skinny on it is that it's going to be its sensibilities will be very modern, if you take my meaning.
Yeah.
With a W word that I won't mention.
Screw that.
Yeah, shame. These look pretty cool. Wolverine looks good though. He's kind of why is he as tall as Magneto? And why is Magneto short and dumpy?
I don't know.
Because they've always made Wolverine taller now.
They
That's
are.
the problem.
I hate Jubilee.
I
You
do
like
too.
I
Jubilee?
can't stand Jubilee.
Uh,
Ugh.
she's got fireworks.
It could be worse. It could
Klein
be
was better than
Gambit.
her. He's on there. Yeah, they probably do him too. I hate Gambit. He's on that cartoon. I hate
Yes,
Gambit,
child.
man. He's the worst guy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
live in Louisiana, you can't stand Gambit because it's true some people talk like that, but that guy did it over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Catwoman. Yeah, they've got a
That's
whole line.
really cool.
Yeah, that's the animated series costume for her. And
Yeah.
oh my. Probably the only time Selena
Like
Kyle
the way
had
she's
blonde
drawn?
hair. She's
Yeah.
blonde.
Yeah, right.
Adrian Barbeau's voice.
The chick from Swamp Thing?
Yeah, she did the voice on the animated
No
series.
kidding.
I've shown these before, I think, but
Yeah.
the Batman
Cool.
figure, how cool
That looks
is.
good.
And
Does that look good?
That's worth $200.
And 1/6 scale, so it's
So
Darn
how
nice.
big is that? Over 12? That's over 12.
It's about
inches.
I think
well,
so.
yeah, about a foot. Yeah,
It is about a foot. Okay.
yeah. So it's not a 6-inch figure. It's one.
Gotcha. It's one of the
6
big
scale,
ones. Yeah, I got it.
But I mean, I'd love to have that. My birthday's coming up in a month. Just kidding.
I just had my birthday.
Yeah.
I really
Right.
want the Return of the Living Dead poster or whatever that was.
Hint. Yep. And they've got the Joker figure. Yep. So great stuff. Yeah. So some of these were sold out, but I have to see. Yeah, and you love. I know animated Batman animated series is one of our favorites. So yeah, they just
Yep.
did a nice
Heart of Steel.
nice job with this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I almost would buy this
I love the
if I
animated
had the
series.
Smackrels.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and they got the hook too, and it's a wire, so you can pose with it too,
oh wow.
which is cool. So
My
you can
goodness.
have that as a pose, which I love.
You know, it's not bad
It's-
either. Have you seen the New Adventures of Batman and Robin? I was watching that season, the first season, and they had this whole episode where you don't realize it's a dream, but Barbara Gordon gets killed and stuff. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fourth season. The title escapes me, but I know what you're talking about.
It was a great episode. Yeah, Scarecrow, of course. So you kind of
Yeah.
know where it's going where I'm going with that.
It includes a lot of stuff. That was pretty impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
And
give
They
you a
had,
lot.
this, they had a super deluxe
you
version
got?
at one point too. Yeah, you get all
Yep,
these
they got-
heads and arms. Yeah.
Mark Animal. Can't be too careful with all those weirdos around. Just joking. Mark Hamill was perfect. I mean, I hate him as a person, but he was great.
They got the laughing
Kidding,
fish,
I don't hate
of course.
anybody.
So yeah, I
Joking
hope we
fish.
cost everyone some money tonight.
Don't
Sorry
worry, none
about
of us
that.
can afford it.
None of us can afford it, right? Yeah.
No one here anyway.
Yeah.
Probably. No,
All right. Well, let's mosey on out of here.
What about Jim Brown,
what
real
about-
quick? Huh?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Jim Brown. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about Jim
We
Brown.
Oh,
lost the greatest
yeah.
football player of all time, right there.
Yeah. So Syracuse University superstar back in the day in college, and I was reading. These guys went through hell too. So being
Yes,
a
he
black
did.
athlete back then, they really treated very unfairly, especially when they went south. So I was reading about Ernie Davis, who also wore number 44 at Syracuse, and he won the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy, and he would have gone on to be a teammate of Jim Brown's at at Cleveland, and unfortunately came down with leukemia and never played a down in the NFL. But they asked the black, imagine the teammates said, well, you have to leave now from the dinner. Now we're going to open it up to everyone else, so you guys can't stay. I mean, how disgusting that is. So he won the Heisman Trophy, but Jim Brown was I'm sure went through a hell of a lot to play, and his stats are just ridiculous when you look
Outrageous.
at his stats.
9 years, and he played in the 11 game schedule, 11 game seasons.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So he retired. Number one in rushing. So yeah, let's read this.
He
So
could've
he
played
won the
longer.
MVP, and then the
Mhm.
year he retired, he won the MVP too. Yep. So
Yeah.
he won the MVP 3 times. NFL championship Browns in '64. The last time they've
The year I was
won.
born.
64. Yep. Led the league in rushing 8 out of his 9 seasons. So consistency too. Plus back
8
then there
out
was
of 9. That's
not-
outrageous, dude. That
Yeah,
never will happen again, ever.
no, and there's not much of a passing game back then. I mean, there's a passing
yeah, I
game.
mean,
Don't get me
he
wrong,
had-
but rushing.
Yeah.
So people keyed the rush
He
a
played
lot
with Otto
more.
Graham, granted, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, but people were keying the rush a lot more back then too.
Yeah. Plus, you
Um,
could maul people. I mean, look, he would.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, this guy was. If you ever watch the stats, like he was playing against children that just happened to be close to the same height, because he ran through people, and he would get. I mean, he just get mauled. You could beat back then. You can get away with murder as far as like grabbing by the neck and landing on him and stepping all over. I mean, they did not have a lot of rules to protect anybody, especially running backs. There's a reason running backs have a shorter lifespan as a player in football, but he still could have played longer.
Well, he retired on top. I mean, he
Hollywood
won the
game.
MVP. Yeah,
Game calling.
Yeah. Dirty Dozen. So
Yeah, I love that movie.
yeah. So imagine they led the league in rushing 8 out of his 9 seasons. He held most major rushing records. As you said, there are only 11 games.
I think that was
season?
during the 11 games seasons.
Yeah.
With,
So
later went to 14.
yeah. So you've got a lot less games to set those records too. You're not playing that.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
The thing you have
And
to
so
look
he
at.
played-
Look at his. Can you find this? I'm sorry. His average is per yard.
Yeah, I'll get
per
to
carry.
that. Yeah. Well,
insane.
it's down further below, but so I want to say, yeah. So my son's at Syracuse, so there's statues.
Oh,
There's a statue to. Is there a statue for Jim Brown there? There's one for Ernie there, but
gotta be one for Jim. I'd say, but yeah,
yeah.
he was
But
before. Ernie.
they're revered there at
Yeah, it should be.
at Syracuse, and he wore number 44. And he was also
they both wore
considered the
44.
greatest lacrosse player in history too. Now lacrosse is a much
Yeah,
more popular
lacrosse.
sport now.
Yeah, That's right.
But
He
he
was.
incredible in lacrosse. Yeah. So and he played, of course, basketball and track. Yep. So yeah. So he rushed
106 touchdowns in 9 years. It's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
11 game
And less
seasons.
games. Yeah. Yeah.
Average 1.43 rushing yards per game. 104.3 per game. It'll never be touched, I don't think. I mean,
No.
only player in NFL history to average over 100 yards, rushing yards per game for his career, and that's going to stand forever.
Well, especially now with the passing game. But yeah, no one's come close to that probably, right?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brown
And I
was
don't think
trying,
you youngins, I never got to see him play, but watch him. I know you love watching NFL films, but
NFL films only, yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of miss. We're all skewered towards the Tom Brady's of the world, or the it's who you see playing growing up, right? So as the decades go on, you got to look at these stats to think of how amazing. When he got picked six, wow, who were the 5 guys that went before him in 1957? That would
Not
be
one was better. Not one was better.
So you can imagine.
He was. What is he? He played the same years. He was born in 36. Is that what it says? 1936.
So he played.
My elementary school gym teacher was a pro football player back in
Really?
the same years. Yeah, he played for the Eagles and for the Vikings.
Wow. Okay.
But he was. I went to look him back up to see what year he was born. He was born in 38. But I thought? I just found so interesting when you were saying they had a heck of a time going, because of the time being like.
Yes.
That's so interesting to me because I looked at he went to college at Wichita State. That would be what, Kansas, right?
Who?
Jim Brown went to.
No. I'm talking about my elementary school gym teacher.
Okay,
His name was Ted Dean. Ted Dean was his name.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was it says here he was I don't know, NFL champion in the 1960, Pro Bowl 1961, NFL kickoff return yards leader in 1960.
He played for the Eagles. Did you say?
The Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, Eagles from 60 to 63, and then the Vikings in 64.
That means he has a Super Bowl. I mean, not Super Bowl, but a championship because the Eagles won the championship in 60.
Yeah, it says something about that in here. He did.
Wow.
He culminated something. Wait. He had the game-winning touchdown for the Eagles in the 1960 NFL championship game.
Wow.
That's what earned him a place in the 1961 Pro Bowl. That's so funny. Yeah, that's my elementary school gym teacher. But that was the point. It's the years because he's about the same age, 2 years younger. And I never thought about stuff like that.
Is that Fred Dean? Did you say Fred Dean? Or
Ted Dean. Theodore Curtis Dean. It's his full name.
Cool.
Ted Dean.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. He was cool. Sorry, someone's asking me for the. Here you go.
Yeah, well, that's great though.
But I never thought about him having hardships or whatever going to play. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just made me think about that. That was very interesting.
Well, a couple of years before the Browns, took Jim Brown, they were really kind of the trailblazers. Paul Brown, he picked a couple of different players. One of them was Marion Motley, who happened to be a black running back many years earlier than Brown. Before Brown came along, and he actually was the first groundbreaking black athlete in professional sports, a little bit before Jackie Robinson was, but it was for the Cleveland Browns. And at that time, baseball was bigger than football, but still, Marion Motley for the Browns, the running back, who wore number 72, who was a Hall of Famer. He before Brown came along, they were a team that had a great running back with him, and he was the first black player in the NFL post post Depression era anyway.
Wow.
And he was the one that was the trailblazer for Jim Brown. But yeah, it wasn't. And even all throughout the 60s, black players still experienced a lot of discrimination in the NFL, going into certain cities where they weren't allowed in certain hotel rooms and different things. Down here,
it's just something I never thought about. That just shows things that still pop into your head. That's really fascinating to me.
Yeah. Indeed, he was a monster. I mean, watching his NFL films, it was just so entertaining. Watching him just knocking people over and just, running through people. He didn't run around anybody. He knocked them over. He just pushed them down. He run through them. He had a lot of receptions too. He could catch the football. And he was just, he would not quit. He didn't go out of bounds and believe in going out of bounds. He would run through people. And then I heard a lot of guys would talk about how he'd get, they would take him down and he'd get up and instead of like getting mad or cause trouble, he was always so cool. He would say something like, "Oh man, come on guys. Why you guys like to hurt me like that?" He said he would tease them and stuff. He'd get up, never have a bad attitude. Like
I love that.
Kind of, he just like, "Come on, man, you guys ought to take it easy. Maybe joke around with these guys." And like, wow, he was just had a cool attitude about it. Great football player.
Yeah. So here's the draft from 1957. So Paul Hornung. So he
went to the Hall of Fame. So
he went to the Hall of Fame. So that's a pretty good pick as a halfback, right? Yeah. And then
even though he
John
had
Arnett
didn't make it long.
No, John Brody.
Well, he had a good career, but
17 seasons. Yeah.
But he never won a championship. So.
Yeah.
And
Ron Kramer.
He was pretty good, but no.
And then you got Len Dawson,
Hall of Famer, picked by the Steelers, but he got cut and went to the Texans, and then
Kansas City
became the Chiefs. Yeah, but they were first the Texans. So
okay.
Yeah, and then Jim. So two Hall of Famers went before him.
Yeah, not a bad draft. I guess.
What a draft! Yeah, look after him. Jesus Christ! Let me see the ones after him in that round.
Oh,
wow, Jim Parker,
Clarence Parker, Jim Parker.
At least it's Jim Parker. He became his Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer too. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good draft.
Yeah. So Tommy McDonald made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. There you go. Wow.
Sonny Jurgensen went 43.
The great Sonny Jurgensen. Wow, look how far down he went.
Number 43, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Henry Jordan went pretty low. Good Lord.
52, yep.
I'm sorry, I just love NFL history.
I'm really interested in it. I don't know a lot.
You should watch more NFL films. And so much fun. Wow, Don Maynard went that low. Good
109, yep.
109.
Yep.
One of the greats. Without him, Joe Namath don't have a name. Oh, my goodness. That's pretty low, dude.
Pretty amazing. Yep. So let's get back to Jim's stats here. But yeah, so we 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 9-time Pro Bowl, NFL scoring leader. Yep. So just pretty much every record that you can win. Yeah. And
9 years too. That's the amazing thing about it, man.
Yeah.
Look at the receptions. Touchdowns. Look at the receptions.
Good receiver too.
66 receptions. He was rushing average 5.2. That is ungodly. That's
That's over the career, not for
outrageous.
A game. Yeah.
That's a career.
Jesus. Not bad.
Yeah. And look at that. And look at the total yards in 9 years. In 11 game seasons, I think they were all 11 gamers from remembering right, or more, maybe 12. 12,312 freaking yards in 9 years.
That's amazing. Yeah,
yards. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's why he's the greatest. And see the reason why another reason he's the greatest. Look, Tom Brady is the most successful sports figure in all of history of sports, no question about it. But this guy, a quarterback has to throw the football to people and they have to catch it.
Yeah.
He has to hand it off to people. They have to run it. People have to block for him. Running back just has to run through everybody.
Yeah.
A running back is a wide receiver is only as great as a guy getting the football to him. A running back, you just hand it to the sucker, and he's got it. What he does with it makes him. That's why I think he's the greatest.
So his senior year at Syracuse, he finished 5th in the Heisman Trophy and set school records with his highest season rush average, 6.2. Most rushing touchdowns in a single game, 6. He ran for 986 yards, 3rd most in the country, despite Syracuse only playing 8 games, and scored 14 touchdowns. Yeah.
Oh, my God, 8 games.
In the regular season finale, 61-7 rout of Colgate, he rushed for 197 yards, scored 6 touchdowns, and kicked 7 extra points for school record. Because they tried to have him as
he could kick,
they could kick too, including punter, lineman.
Or they tried athlete, unreal,
yeah. So, but a blocked extra point after Syracuse' 3rd touchdown was the difference. Oh, and this is in the Cotton Bowl. as
Yeah.
TCU beat them 28-27. Oh, that stinks. Yep.
Yikes.
So, and of course, he was very involved too in the civil rights movement from the start. So,
yeah.
and then he got into, it took a lot of courage to do that back then too. It was a much different world. Yep. Yeah, Brown's scoring record of 100 touchdowns in 93 games stood until LaDainian Tomlinson did it in 89 games during the 2006 season.
Yeah.
So,
how many games did Brown do it in now? I mean,
93 games, 100 touchdowns.
93. And
but I mean, it's a totally different.
Different league.
It's an amazing
Tomlinson
stats,
was
but
great,
it's different.
But
yeah, it's a different league. Yeah,
way different league, but.
Yeah, well, he's the only rusher to average over 100 yards per game in his career, as you've said. So, yeah.
Only one ever that will ever be.
Yeah.
Imagine being
I wonder what that stat is average, who's number 2?
But at that,
Yeah.
as far as that, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I would probably Walter, but I don't know. I could totally be wrong. Walter Payton, maybe.
I'm trying to see.
That's
Average
my
yards.
total guess. It might be Adrian
Payton,
Peterson.
1977. I'm looking up the stats. Yep. Average
yards. Something like that, man. I don't know who.
Oh, career rushing. That'd be nice. That would be interesting to, if number 2 is like 50 or probably higher, but yeah. Yeah, so you've got career. Oh, rushing average. I'm trying to find the stats here. Is rushing average. These are quarterbacks here. Football database. Let's see here.
Go find it. Just go pull up NFL films on YouTube. Put Jim Brown in it, and watch one of those highlight films of his. Man, they're amazing to watch.
Yeah. Let's see. NFL career leaders. Let's see. NFL career. I'm just trying to apologize. Search as I talk. Yeah. But there should be football. Yeah, some football stats here where you can get.
That's true, JT. There weren't as many teams, but still. And he was in the great movie, The Dirty Dozen.
What movie?
Yeah.
And Mars Attack.
The first, he wasn't that too, but the first movie he did, I think was one of the first was The Dirty Dozen. Great movie.
Never heard of it.
Yo, come on.
Dude, that's the joke. Come on, that was the line. Come on.
I know. But I didn't know. Maybe you never heard of it. I was about to quote his most famous line from that movie, but I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I suppose that is.
You're not allowed to say anything anymore.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
All right. Let's
Especially
see if we
another
can
line
find.
in there. Never mind.
Let's see. Active grades. Let's see. Where could I find?
What are you looking for?
All-time stats. Let's see. Season leaders. Average career. So average career. Would this be? Let's see. I don't want quarterbacks.
There's my boy Drew. Before he broke
these
my
are
heart.
quarterbacks, right? Yep.
Before he broke my heart, that was my boy right there, Drew Brees.
Oh, a value.
Destroyed me.
Let's see. Playoff leaders. Pass
Destroyed
rush.
me, Pat.
Okay, rush yards career, right?
Jim.
Well, Emmett Smith, but of course it's not a fair comparison too when you think of that. Just because of the number
Emmett Smith played behind
games paid.
My
Emmett's
grandmother could have got
all-time great.
$1 million behind that offensive line.
So Walter Payton's number 2. Frank
Look
Gore.
how high Frank Gore is because he had to play for 80,000 years to get there.
15 years. Yeah. And he's in big trouble. Not going these days.
Is he in trouble now?
So Jim Brown. Yeah.
He played for 20 teams, right?
Yeah. So Jim Brown is number 11.
That's only because
you played for a lot. Well,
a lot less time. Yeah.
A lot less time. Yep. So I wonder if they can get your average. Let's see what Emmett Smith's career average is. No, I don't want.
It ain't that.
Let's see.
Rush. Let's see.
4.2. But does it give you average?
Not Jim.
Well, it doesn't give you his career average. A game. Oh,
What are you looking for?
Rush. Well, it's compared to Brown because Brown averaged over 100 yards. So he hit
300 yards a game, right?
Yeah. So Smith played in 226 games. It looks like, right?
Yeah.
Divided by 18,000. So
Got
18.
all that.
355 divided by 226. Computer.
Wow, you can really do that, man. I can't even
Yeah.
think that I must just count that high. The numbers
I gotta
just like
calculate.
fly through and right through my eyeballs. I can't. I don't know. I don't understand.
There's 81 yards, average 81 yards per game.
Okay, do you think that would be on there somewhere?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the stats.
You would think. I would think so. Yeah, these are.
There's somewhere there on there. I mean, there's some
Yeah, I'm not as familiar
There's a
with
site that has those, but
yeah.
So no, it's and that's Emmitt Smith, the rushing leader of all time, nowhere close to the per game average of Jim Brown.
20 yards different. Yeah, and Emmett's an all-time.
He's an all-time rushing leader.
Great, yeah.
And he padded those stats too, by the way. But I know people don't like to pick on Emmitt Smith, but he should never gone to the Cardinals. That was just absolute garbage. That was a joke.
Here we go. So
I hear you. Rate game attempts.
160 yards at 5.2 to 4.2.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yards. I don't see it anywhere. It's got. I mean, they usually keep this per game.
Well, that's the 5.2 to 4. That's yards per attempt. That's a full yard. But I'm not seeing. Oh, no, that's the touchdowns 106.
Large receptions. Yards. Well, Brown's got more receiving touchdowns than him.
Yeah.
I don't see it. All right, Steve. Have a good one, buddy.
Good night, Steve. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna get
on there. Right.
But we're gonna get out of here anyway. But let's do Jim Brown
I'll try
movies.
to find him later. Movies.
But that just gives you an idea how good he was. So if you watch some of the, you can't play any of the clips, unfortunately. But he was
great. And I'm gonna get you, sucker. He was in that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know. Remember him from Small Soldiers? Did he do a voice or something?
I guess
I'm sure.
Yeah. I like Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
So yeah, Raquel Welch, lucky.
Yeah.
Jimbo.
So yeah, so he called he was in the team was in training camp, and he called, said, "I'm doing the Dirty Dozen." So I'm retiring.
Yeah, I'm not going to come play football. I'm going to go make a movie.
Yeah,
one of the coolest movies ever.
So
anyone seen that movie but me?
Oh, I love that movie. A great movie. Yeah. So he had a pretty good career in film too. Yep. And later in life, he got into trouble for certain things. So yeah,
he made some mistakes. He did, and he admitted them too. By the way, came out and admitted he done some bad, stuff he wasn't proud of,
Yeah.
But he also taught a lot of kids, and he never went out there and tried to use victimology with kids. He said, he tried to teach people. A lot of these younger football players, he tried to teach them, to be responsible and things like that. No, it wasn't perfect, but the guy tried.
We did a lot to help to try to curb gang violence, and
he did
a lot of outreach. So he was very involved with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he was there with Muhammad Ali.
Lou Alcindor at the time.
Lou Alcindor, that's right. And Cassius Clay, yeah.
Wow.
One Night in Miami, yep. Yeah, it's different times. We can't imagine him.
Yeah, he was sitting there with that commie, but that's all right.
Because I was, born in '68, but
yeah.
So it's tough to, relate to that when you don't. And then these guys live through this stuff, and you're one of the greatest athletes of all time, and you got to face all this discrimination,
Let's get
which is horrific. Yeah.
I'm going to get you a sucker. I love that movie. Jim Brown,
Yeah.
Martin Landau, Black Gun.
Yep.
Wow. What they call black
1972. Yep.
exploitation movies.
Yep. So classic stuff. Yep. So
Original
so
gangster.
God bless Jim Brown. Rest in peace. Yep. So, yeah, he had an amazing career, and he was also on Chips. I'm just looking at, and don't forget when Running Man, he was great in. He was
on
good
Chips?
in Running Man too. Yep.
Oh yeah, Running
And
Man. Yeah, that's
Running
right.
Man. He was in Running Man too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And any given Sunday, he was in that as well
Yeah.
too. So, but yeah. So. Great stuff. Yeah, great career, and yeah, I don't think he gets the as much recognition as he should. I think maybe is that just me, or in terms of
As a player?
today's?
Oh God, yeah, he does. I mean, no
You
one.
think he does? Well, no, with
no one's
young
gonna sell
kids
Jim
today. I'm just saying
Brown
with
short.
young kids today.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
think
well,
like
they don't even know who he
Babe
is.
Ruth? Everyone talks about. Do you think young kids know?
no. I mean, unless they have to be told about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully,
you're right.
maybe you don't see as many highlights, or So
No, I hear you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but amazing player. Yeah, to watch some NFL films. Yeah, and he wasn't quite. Yeah, Lenron says. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Yep. But no, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Yeah, went an extra hour, but this is always we did 3 hours. What the heck? Always fun. So want to thank Pat S. Who was able to stay. Pat, you were only supposed to stay an hour. What happened? You had too much fun.
I got lost.
You got lost. You're like, Mark, I'm going to see you had too much fun.
I had
I'll
to
be
do
right-
the Dirty Dozen joke. I thought you were going to do Jim Brown at like the top of the half hour.
See, that's what I did. I kept you waiting. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think kids know who Babe Ruth is either, other than a candy bar, dude.
Probably not.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
really?
talking about.
Oh, that's so weird
Do you,
to me.
do you think so, Courtney? I mean, seriously, if you ask
No, I believe
a
it.
15
It's
to
just so
20-year-old
weird to me
kid,
now.
do you
Like I'm
think you'd
officially
say,
starting to feel like I'm part
Yeah.
of like the older.
well,
don't
ask
know.
one. I mean, if you ask them who Babe Ruth is, I bet you they might say it's a candy bar. Or they might say, who is it?
I don't think they'd even probably know the candy bar.
Don't
'cause
they
it's
make
not
the
even
candies
popular.
anymore? They don't make them
That's-
anymore?
I had a kid ask me why we say hang up the phone.
Oh,
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's
And it
more.
blew my mind.
That kind of
I
makes
was like,
sense.
they
Yeah.
don't know that we used to have to hang a phone up.
Right.
Yeah,
That
there's
actually
a
makes
button you
sense to me.
press. Yeah.
I mean,
You just push-
it blew my mind because I was like,
No, I hear
wow,
you.
I would never think about
They
that.
say turn off the phone. Yeah. So that makes more sense to me. But are you saying they don't make Babe Ruths, or I
No,
don't
I
even
can't-
know?
Oh, there's still Baby
It's not
Ruth. Yeah,
popular with
Or
kids
baby-
ever, I don't think.
Okay, Baby Ruth, right? Or
Yeah,
is it
but
Baby-
it was actually
Baby
named after.
I guarantee you they don't know who Babe Ruth is. Not everybody, but I mean, kids in their teens.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know who Reggie Jackson was without Candy. So
the Reggie Bar. Yep.
Really?
Really?
Wow. They got
Yeah,
a movie coming
You
out.
know,
about
I
him.
grew up with
There's a
a
movie coming out about him.
sports
What's that,
kind of
Courtney?
family. I grew up like with my dad was really into sports, so I feel like I know
Yeah.
probably more than.
Yeah. Well, like Steve was
love
saying,
the
he's not
Reggie
into
Bar.
sports, but he knows who Jim Brown is. Candy bar exists. Okay, so it's called Babe Ruth still, or Baby Ruth, or whatever. It's Baby Ruth,
Yeah.
though, right?
It was named
It's
after
Baby
Babe Ruth,
Ruth.
but then they tried to claim it was named after what
Oh,
was it? Garfield's
yeah,
okay.
niece.
Grover Cleveland's baby.
Grover Cleveland's but it was like 20 years later. It was something totally
It makes
ridiculous.
me think of the Goonies. It really does.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
today they would have gotten sued out. They would have gotten sued out of existence. I mean,
Yeah. Donnie, I think you might enjoy I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. He says he was going to watch it. So that's a fun movie. Anybody else see that one or not?
I have never
Yes.
seen that, and I don't know how I haven't.
I love it. Mark?
I have to.
I'd seen it years ago. I'm sure.
Toxic
That's
Tuesday.
play on the black
That'd be a good
exploitation
one.
films. Of
That's a
this.
toxic.
I'll love it. I'll love it. I know I will.
Absolutely. So yeah, Mark, we got a big week coming up. Brandon's doing some Tuesday and Thursday night shows throughout the summer. And we're starting summer early, and then the real Star Wars Day, the 25th. I've been helping out Pops, who a lot of you guys may know from his Saturday night stuff. He's got a show with Loki and Ironcaster that he does on Tuesdays and all day Thursday. He's running Star Wars content, different interviews, different people. Yeah, he's got some people coming on with old catalogs and showing off their stuff and everything. So I've been helping him set that day up, and also it should be a lot of fun if you're hanging out. Hop on that show. You know, like I said, he's going to be going pretty much from early morning until about 8 o'clock at night that day. So it should be a lot of fun. So
Sounds great. Yep.
get a chance, but
Check that out. Yeah, do I have Pop's
that is a
link
big
here?
announcement. But the biggest announcement's about to come right now.
Oh,
When
drum
we
roll,
go
please.
to Clobbering Times,
Oh yeah, this is a big one. Yeah.
he's got a big week.
Oh yeah, I'm going to J-Man's tonight to talk about Legion.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Tonight. Yeah. Oh no, I'm kidding. Yeah, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow night. On Monday Night Marksy Comics Talk, the great Gary Beekler of Nerd Product will be joining me for just hang out. We'll talk comic shop memories, and hopefully other geek stuff. Just have a good time. I'm excited about it, and it's a honor to have him. And I'm just not worthy, but Gary is a cool.
Gary's
dude, so
very cool.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, he is a
I
really
was on a
good guy.
music stream with him. He's super
yeah.
nice. Really,
That's right.
really
Yeah,
cool.
he went on 70s. That's wrong show.
Yeah, I was on that one. Yep.
Are you
Cool. I'm
taking
looking forward
Memorial
to it.
Day off for comic book Monday? For next Monday?
No, sir. I shall not.
May I?
I'll be
If
there.
you do not have a plan yet, may I throw this out, sir?
You can throw whatever you want to throw.
If you think you have time to throw this together in a week, because I know you got a busy week coming, it'd be pretty cool if maybe you talked about some of the more military-based comics, because you know I'm a big fan of the Sergeant Rock, so
I might look
that
into
could be an interesting thing to do on Memorial Day. But that's 100% up to you.
I might look into that, sir.
Then you have to do a whole special about Betty and Veronica for me. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I don't know what holiday I would be,
but
but
you'd have to agree to be on with me. So
I'd be on it. That's all I read as a kid for the Archie. Like
then
Jughead,
you
Betty
teaching
and
me
Veronica.
things. Well, what do you know? Oh, it's on Pluto. Cool. Well, I'm going to get you something.
Yeah. Thank you for posting that, Donna.
I wonder if it's butchered up for the naughty stuff. Oh, never mind. Anyway.
Well, we'll just have to watch to find out. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
I got this medal for typing.
Yeah. Indeedishness.
Yep.
Oh,
And then Courtney.
Hold on, I'll put my. It's a new laptop in a new place. You know?
There you go. It works. Yep.
Hey, guys. I look really blue, I think, because the whole room's blue. My hair doesn't show as red. I didn't even know it, but I did reach 500 subs, so I guess I'm supposed to.
Awesome.
That's pretty big. Congratulations.
Sort of stream. Yeah, I'm at
Your
517.
birthday. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. My birthday was. I'm so glad I have a laptop now. That's all I have to say. I had things hanging from.
You got to stream. You need a computer to stream with.
Yeah, it was.
The phone is pretty tough.
I had so much fun, but thank goodness for the good stuff that kept everything going. So I'm trying to figure out what to do for that. And over Memorial Day, I'm going to Santa Fe on a little trip to. Has anyone heard of Meow Wolf? It's called.
I only heard it because
I brought it up.
Either you mentioned or someone mentioned it on the stream.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's supposed to be really interesting, so I might do something from around there, maybe on the road.
Do you know the way to Santa Fe? Sorry,
I've never been to Santa Fe either, and I'm only like a 4.5-hour drive. So.
Makes me think of that song, though. You know that song?
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, I've just never been there, but yeah. So I'm going to be streaming again more. Thank you,
Awesome.
JT Kirk.
Indeed.
I don't know if I think I'm going to be changing things up a bit. Like I've been doing drive streams and more daytime stuff because where I live there's a teenager that goes to school and stuff like that. So
Yep.
it can't be as late night as usual. So I'm trying to figure things out, but I have a new banner and stuff, and
Nice.
we'll work on it. I have to figure this computer out. But yeah, but I shall be here next Sunday hopefully.
Awesome.
And other than that, people can
forward to
always find me Mondays on It's Only Talk and Roll. You two are the only two shows that I really am loyal to when I can actually. When I'm
Thank you.
stream, so. You're my
we had
favorite.
fun on that 70s show last Monday. I know you had some technical issues, but yeah, that was a fun stream.
It was
with
really fun.
The guys from Dio and the
Oh my
roadies
gosh,
for
I
Dio.
was so
and,
bummed that I was
White
missing
Snake.
like so much stuff. I wanted to ask questions, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't get on. It's making me crazy. But hopefully no more problems with that. And I'm also
Yeah.
going to get, just in case the internet doesn't work, a
A
50-foot Ethernet cord.
Oh
to
yeah,
go-
the cord.
The,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
router's like right over there. So
You're
yeah.
much better off hardwiring. Yeah, just
Nice.
no problems. Yep,
I'm
yep.
learning. I'm learning.
Oh, and Matthew Pounder's dropping in. Says good morning. Yep.
Hey,
we're
Matthew.
just we're just shutting down now, but go rewind. Yep. Watch all 2 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Oh, 3
Oh,
hours.
I was going to say you
There
had to
we go.
stop it at the 3, but I'm so
Yeah. Oh, I
superstitious
missed it.
about
Yep,
now I have to wait till 33.
But no, I want to thank Courtney, Clobber Times Pat, Maddie's
sir.
daddy, Steve Mitchum. I'm not going to shout out everyone tonight because I'm extra tired, but let's see who's
All right,
active in the
everybody.
chat. So we're going to shout out Brian Hepburn, and thank you for being a Patreon. Donnie Pearson, Joe's Atmosphere, JT Kirk, Len Rod, Maddie's daddy still in the chat. Thank you. Keep painting, Matthew Pounder. So those are the people that are active, but I can cheat. I can see who's active in the chat with that button in the YouTube channel. But yeah, just much appreciate everyone. It was a great, fun weekend celebrating my son's graduation. But I got to do a charity event tomorrow that I'm volunteering to be a photographer at. So I got to. We're raising money for kids in sports. I'm on a board there. We raise scholarship and donate money for say if a football team needed equipment or something, we donate help to donate money for that. So which is great. So. And Sean, oh hey, Sean's been lurking. Thank you, Sean.
Hey,
Yep.
Sean.
Shout out to Sean, and again, yeah, thanks for all that stuff, cool stuff you send. Yep. And Claude is going nuts. He's trying to find who played Old Marion Ravenwood on Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Help! Will someone in the chat please help Claude?
There's Hungry Boy. Doesn't he know everything?
He does. Yep. Yep. And Matthew says, "Have a great week, everyone." Yep.
You too.
Yep. You too, Donnie. Yep. Take care. Yep. So everyone, yeah, always appreciate everyone hanging out with us. I'm going to put the overlay on here so you can check out the Galactic Star Cruiser there. Yep. So everyone, make sure you sign up while you can.
Right. It's going fast.
It's going fast. Yep. Yep. But no, thank you, everyone. It's been another great Sunday Night Geekery. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us on Sunday night. There's a lot of other stuff you could be doing, but you're spending time here, so much appreciated. So everyone have a great week, and everyone head to Clobbering Times tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, for the great Clobbering Times and the also great Gary talking about comic books and comic book shops. So maybe we'll get some insights on that comic book. What's the secret of owning a comic book shop, right? So
yes. Sure.
that'll be a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll learn it too.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Indeed.
Right.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.